And welcome into the VCT OCE Split 1 playoffs. It's going to be the upper finals tonight. It's EKING up against Full House. What a banger edit coming through for us. Thank you so much, production, for making sure that comes happening. And of course, joining me tonight, once again, forever and ever, it is Mr. Multitudes. How are you doing tonight?
I am, I say I'm stoked, but honestly, with each cast with you moving up these double elimination playoffs, now we are finally here at the upper bracket finals, and it just gets more and more hype. The stakes get higher with each round that we progress, and I'm just so ready to just bring some beautiful cinema for the viewers on your stream today.
Yeah, honestly, a huge honor for it to be taking part on my stream. Thank you so much for production for making sure that comes through live, well and waiting. And as we get into the match shortly, it's going to be a quick description here for us. EKING up against Full House. Both teams have gone 7-0 in the group stages. I mean, technically speaking, EKING have marginally beat out Full House. They haven't dropped a single map in there. But of course, they've come off a couple of tight best of threes in the playoffs so far. EKING recently that we casted up against Hornswogglers. And of course, Full House up against Long and Friends last night, coming off a 2-1 narrow victory as well. It's going to be the biggest clash of the tournament so far tonight. The biggest Titans going up against each other. And I know you have some, things to talk about the map picks as they come on tonight. Icebox, Sunset, and Ascent. Take it away, Mr. Multi.
All right, Merlin's chat. Coming close. I'm going to cook real quick. Coming close. Okay, you have to understand that 50% of the battle happens in the map pick. You see the graphic here below. I'm gonna talk about a few things. 3 things. Point number 1. Okay, Full House ban Haven. Big head move. 5-head move. Okay, EKING have won Haven 6 times with no losses on that map. They are dominant on that force. So for Full House to ban that, great move. But for Full House to then choose Sunset as their map pick. Map number 2. That I'm not sure about that, Merlin. Right? EKING have a couple of great demonstrations under their belt, and Full House have no public appearances. Now, unless they have cooked something crazy in the backdrop to specifically counter-strat against EKING, I have my doubts here, Merlin.
100%. And ironically speaking, the last few matches that have come across, it feels like EKING has had a tougher time on their own map pick as opposed to the opponent's map pick. The opponents have continually picked Sunset into them and have continually been absolutely dominated again and again and again. And the Titans just keep piling up, right? We see a couple of teams pick Sunset into it because that is their main map. Coming through with the Teho Breach combo every single time. And what have EKING done? They've picked the PRX comp, taken the Omen Sage along, and just completely smashed them to smithereens every single time. So in all honesty, tonight I'm looking at Icebox first and foremost. I feel like Sunset is an EKING takeaway. So if Icebox goes their way, we might be in the store for a bit of a 2-0 coming through.
Yeah, and so, you either really turn up Full House and steal that map pick away and hope for the best for your Sunset. I mean, I don't mean to dish on anyone right now, but it will be Full House's kind of time to step up. And like you called it, these are the 2 top teams from these 2 groups, and this year will be the first time in the Valorant VCT OCE Split 1 that we see these 2 Titans come head to head in this best of 3. And I'm so sure that all these players here are doing some background studies, some counter strats. I want to be able to see those come out strong.
Yeah, 100%. Both of these teams, let's not forget, they came from 2 separate groups. They lead the groups, they come through into the playoffs, and they've just been winning non-stop. And it's culminated into this uppers finals, the one game, right? The one match in which you're going to be qualifying through to the grand finals, guaranteeing yourself a top 2 placement in the OCE scene. And of course, I believe both these teams are going to be hunting for that first place. They're absolutely dominant on all fronts. And tonight is seriously, I don't even know how to make the prediction. And at the end of the day, I pride myself being, a decent player, a decent caster, someone who casts are seen very regularly. We usually know how the games are probably going to turn out, and then when something, out of the spanner comes out and you're like, whoa, this is new, that's awesome for us to cast and whatnot. But tonight, I seriously do not know which side to count in and count out, right? But both teams are so good, so strong.
So hey, we've never done this before, Merlin. Let's put our money where our mouth is a little bit. What do you think? Like, call it. Make a call right here, right now. Predictions in the chat will happen later, but this is Cass's prediction. A little curse might happen. We'll see what happens. Merlin, what do you think will happen?
I'm not going to lie, based on EKING's performance, they've been ramping up. I feel like they started off the playoffs a little soft against Hornswogglers, right? And they came out after a tough 2-1, and last night, they have just blown the fish straight out of the pond and just delivered them straight to the ocean. I feel like it might be a 2-0 EKING tonight.
Okay. To spice things up a little bit, I'ma actually say Full House 2-1. Right? Hear me out. I'm not cooked, I'm cooking. I think, hopefully, Full House have developed counter strats on map number 2, and we go to Ascent, and then we can really battle it out, because on Ascent, both these teams have pretty decent win rates, round win rates, and so it might go the distance, and then Full House could pull out the craziest script writing that we've ever seen. So that's where my money will be, Merlin. No cap. Let's see what happens, Drill.
Yeah, 100%. I do fully believe that. And of course, I think Full House will actually really have to focus on taking down Icebox here first and foremost, because I don't have the confidence, even if it is their own map pick on Sunset. It is that kind of left field pick right now, because as we mentioned throughout the tournament of playoffs, Sunset has been rotated back in replacement of Fracture, but however, we're still playing on the Taeho patch, which means Taeho's not nerfed just yet, and we've seen a lot of teams band-aid the solutions on Sunset with that Taeho breach composition, and EKING have just been not running Taeho at all, and we're seeing a lot of adaptations come through, and it feels like a lot of teams can't deal with the Sage the same way, and EKING's utilizing it. So I'm looking at Full House to take Icebox, lose Sunset, and bring it to map 3 on Ascent and win there if you're talking about the 2-1. However, if EKING come on strong, it might just be a quick 2-0. I feel like everything kind of hinges on this first map.
Oh, that puts the stakes so much higher, right? Icebox, predominantly known as a bit of a scrum fest, right? It's a bit of a small map, and obviously the shtick for this particular map is the verticality, right? It's a bit of aim labs training, trying to flick your mouse, not just horizontally, but vertically as well. Look at the schematics here that we have with our fly-throughs. There's so much up-down that needs to be able to be managed, and if you're not careful, if you're not sharp with your aim, or if you just lose pacing with the trade-offs with your utility movements, that's where things can really crumble apart.
Yeah, and then Icebox, again, it's another one of those situational setups that a lot of teams right now are adapting and not playing duelists on this map. And we actually saw Hornswogglers take the win up against EKING the other day without a duelist present, and EKING, we know, run the Jet, and as you see, that's going to be coming forward as well. The Harbor Viper composition with the Sova Killjoy core, I feel like, is going to be the adaptation here, and Full House also going to be putting forth that Jet, but the switch out, they're not running double controller, they're running Taeho Viper, which is definitely a bit of an interesting middle ground. I'm not sure if you're going to be getting more advantages just by having a solo Taeho without that Gecko being run on top. What is your take on this, multi?
That is interesting, you have at least a Sova to maybe do some supporting action with your Taeho. On your defensive round, you have the recon plus some scan abilities. Taeho has one of their own, so would be able to maybe compensate against a solo Viper smoke, which, once you deploy, that wall is static and doesn't give that much flexibility from a controller perspective. So I'd imagine that Zukwak as well as Biggie Cheese will step up and help provide some intel and some, proactive push out aggressively on the defense, just to be able to give their team assurances.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that being said, 30 seconds left and the narrative has been written. This is going to be absolutely diabolical tonight. I can't wait to see how this is going to all go down. And it's going to be all coming down to I feel like the duelists here as well, Multi. Let's talk about that.
Ooh, yeah, I mean, Liu versus Feta, these two players just top of their league, just absolutely feeling it, you know, and it's a great pick as well. There's not really another duelist that you might consider with so much verticality. That's where Jet comes in to be able to just get so much space for them. So as we start things off, you know, the Kings looking to set their sights here, and we talked about it. Both initiators taking a lot of proactiveness, but that's where the oppressiveness of the harbor walls come in. Drone to spot things out, forcing both initiators back onto that A backside.
Yeah, and it's going to be right into the crutch of this position right now. We haven't seen EKING go hard and fast that often, and this is a bit of a stark differential based on the play here, and it's going to be 3 members already peeking in. It's going to be Biggie Cheese falling to the wayside instantly as all members storming onto the side. We're looking to find something here as Feta needs to push forward with the Sheriff. It's crucial, but Kadiri still finds the headshot first, and the shots aren't hitting for the side of Feta at the moment. They need to push forward and find a little bit more here, but Dragon and Nakata just keep going absolutely nuclear. It's almost flawless, and that's EKING with round 1.
EKING, I keep saying this, they're so coordinated, right? Like, full house, yeah, but we've got a royal flush on the EKING side. They're just so proactive, just so much discipline to wait for that Viper wall to drop, that defensive Viper wall to drop, and then it's just 3 rifles swinging out, clearing all these corners simultaneously. The trades are all there. It's so beautiful from the side of EKING. I'm here for it.
Yeah, this is just awesome to see. Dragon starting off with 3. I mean, we know they're sharp, and they're going to be getting 3 ulti orbs right on to the mark, and I feel like EKING right now just going to instantly slow it right down. What is that?
Gosh.
Must have been a soda dart, yeah, composition right there, just right onto that orb take. So already someone down for the count on the side of Full House. Needs to find a headshot here. That's gonna be Vizsla, but second, massive to say the least. Vizsla really just reprioritizing exactly the needs of Full House right now, finding 2 crucial kills, a lot of value identified and anchored upon. But look at this push on the side of EKING. Already A side completely compromised, and Kadiri has a great positional advantage. Cascade coming through, not gonna be able to see too much here, but I think the damage already dealt for this round. It's already a solid eco if you really ask me, and now they have to consider this flank coming through. We saw this coming in from Hornswogglers, so they're definitely conditioned. And Minimize ready and waiting did see this one coming. Sinnoh not going to be allowed to do anything here, and it's a 3v2 retake, but they've only got classics. Oh, well, Sheriffs in this case.
Yeah. It's a tough call at the moment, and interestingly enough, I don't know if you saw, but King actually decided to chuck away additional Bulldog despite, you know, leaving 2 players with Sheriffs only, and maybe it's a confidence thing, maybe they really don't want to pull it away, but, you know, Minimize just doing work with the solo rifle that they have here. Yep. Clean as a whistle. 4K to their name. Nothing more, nothing less.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's going to be a simple and easy one, right? It's calculated, surgical, as we saw from the first game, right? That came through from the side of EKING. They were always just so put together, well coordinated yesterday, and I don't think today's going to be anything different. It seems like, you know, they want to make sure that as clean as possible is the name of the game. They already lost 2 members from those heroics from the side of Vizsla. They didn't want to lose any more guns other than that, and they're going to be bringing across a couple of nice solid rifles here, so solid chances still. Indeed.
And it's kind of a default approach here. More people stacked on this A side, but no one's scaling up just yet. You know, there's basically 3 or 4 layers of defense that the EKING have to punch through, and they're taking it nice and slow this particular time because they know at least Full House would have bought up nice and heavy. The arsenal is what they're worried about, but obviously you want to be able to drain away some utility from the defender side.
Yeah, exactly. And you look at the team comp from the side of Full House, they only have 1 controller, right? So it's actually a little bit tougher to deal with if they get swarmed about. And right now, Feta already finding that crucial kill on towards the controller here, but Mina is going to be answering right back. No duel is going to be available from the side of Full House in this case. It's a cheeky little scan coming through. Recon Ducking putting in. It's going to be Lou finding absolute value here. Guardian needs to find a job, but doesn't. It will be Kadiri finding Zork there. And all of a sudden, this bonus has turned into a bountiful treasure hunt from the side of EKING, looking to take their loot and booty right now. And it's just diabolical. It's disastrous, actually. It's only the 3rd round right now, but, you know, if you lose the bonus, we all know what happens after that. It's economic devastation, and Full House have to pick up the pieces here, and that's going to be a shock dart coming through. Post plant starting to ensue here, despite EKING not having a Teho. you know, the options are limited, and, you know, as the time ticks down, it gets even worse in a way, finding a crucial one. Still 3v2, and they need to push through now. Second kill coming through. It's freebies all across the scene, but there's nothing more you can do. Force to save his full house. EKING 3-0.
Yeah. Ooh, tough start from Full House. You know, they've walked into King's domain, and domain shall be, as the Kings basically are able to nullify with just straight great body position, right? You look at this, the slight jiggle and then the triple peak coming out, and unfortunately the defense couldn't nail those shots. Had some consolation prizes right at the end as Minimize tried to maybe strip one more away, but Kings are still looking healthy from their economy's perspective, and this is going to force Full House into a bit of a save. And look at Dragon with the Outlaw. That's going to effectively one-shot anyone on defense as well, so tough call right now.
Yeah, we really need Vizsla to double up on a couple of more kills instantly here in the walk. Going to be giving that trade onto a silver platter. I mean, vulnerable to a little bit of damage. To trade off that kill is crucial here. And the last thing you want from the side of EKING is to be forcing out that Reckoning, not to find that value that you desire for. They're going to be charging into the side. A good ulti, Cascade, High Tide, all put forward. Now the Cove comes down for the plants. And you're looking at this flank to come through from the side of Feta. Narrowly misses the timing on Dragon's Peak with the Outlaw. But it's going to be massive here. And let's just make sure we also keep in track. Kadiri finding that kill instantly. Akana's one away from the Hunter's Fury, which is a crucial part of post play that you would want to find. That's going to be minimized. Finding one onto Zork, trades out by Kadiri's headshot, of course, and still creating a 3v3. Needs to adjust quickly here. It's going to be Biggie Cheese finding a headshot instantly. Sinaway finding it. It's going to be a 3v1 all onto the Dragon Breath. As we find one, almost a second here, and Dragon needs to find these advantageous angles to push through 1, 2, and 3. Has to be fast. Almost a second there on the trade through. Feta so low, but it's still gonna be a Full House win. But gosh, was that close.
Yeah, Full House actually decided to force up, and it went in their favor from that perspective, right? Starting off with a beautiful start here, slow creep along the ropes, and just being able to isolate these Dragon, but finally the last two players from Full House teamed up and were able to just shut things down. Great trade from Feta to secure themselves the first on the board.
Yeah, 3-1s to start it off. It's still not exactly, you know, the outcome that you're looking for. You lost 4 of the members and you lost the armor onto the side of Feta, but, you know, they're going to be completely forcing up. Both sides essentially equalized on the economic front. But in this case, it's going to really come down to this round here. A bit of a make it or break it. Those pivot rounds that we talk about all the time. Scan coming through. Going to be hitting once. Trying to find a second. Not going to be happening as Zork escapes narrow deaths of the Hunter's Fury. And Akana's been so good at utilizing that ultimate. And we've been seeing a lot of Sovas taking place on the scene, but not everyone is just as strong as Akana with the positioning of how they use the Hunter's Fury. But in this case, still, Zork narrowly escaping it. And we see ourselves into a bit of a 5v5, but I don't know if Kadiri understands that someone's right on top of him right now. Top left, they have to check it. The peek from under. I don't think Vizsla sees it. Oh, Kadiri catches the face of Vizsla. Oh, right and left their feet. It's going to be... Oh, that's ridiculous, honestly. I don't even know how to explain it, besides the fact that that's just unlucky. Full House, now all of a sudden, complete sight compromised. And, you know, it's always like this, Multi, where it hinges on those one pivotal moments in a round where the thing completely just collapses on itself, and it comes down to another couple of hero plays as Biggie Cheese answers with a kill onto Minimize, but the Viper Spit's already down, and we're looking to find something more, and it's going to be all on Dragon in this. Kadiri, another crucial headshot. Another person under him needs to be found. Akana answering back. Zork going to be falling to the wayside as Biggie Cheese finds a second for their troubles. And they need to find more, but the man advantage still here. Dragon with that Viper Spit. Too good. As Feta now is forced to escape with the Operator. 3v1 dire odds. And it's going to be a 4th round for EKING here.
It's just so unlucky, to be honest, from the side of Vizsla, right? Pushed up on that top of screens, and Kadiri just had the 5-hit notion. Just look up, you know, just maybe I'll catch someone there, and indeed, verticality pays off. Timeout now being called for the defensive side. They cannot let this run away, and, you know, Feta with that Operator had forced up on round number 5, gonna be carried into what's likely gonna be a very heavy, thrifty round. So time to regroup and figure out how to maximize your arsenal and your abilities.
Yeah, 100%. It's not going to be easy. Like, at the end of the day, you're playing defense, and typically speaking right now, you don't have that second controller to give you that kind of movement, you know, space control that you're looking for. And all you really have right now, in comparison to the double smokes on the other side, is your Tejo, which means Biggie Cheese not only has to find the gun kills, needs to use their utility aptly and find that space for the team.
Yeah, you know, like that previous round, we actually saw EKING, you know, having lost round 4 and moving to round 5. They actually went exploring a little through mid. They got rid of Tart at Boiler, and that actually forced Full House to work in this like L-shaped defensive lineup. But they weren't proactive in retaking that space. We talked about, you know, Sinaway having only a single smoke that's deployed during the buy round, like you see here. So, you know, Zoa could have moved forward to get the drill. Maybe they're saving all their utility for the retake, but it's just not working out most of the time.
Yeah, for sure, and this is going to be a big clash here. It's going to be Feta looking to push forward instantly with a dash on top. Needs to find a quick kill with this operator and dash back out instantly. But if that timing isn't of the essence, it's going to be a dire straight. It's going to be one, but instantly traded. A great effort and equalized immediately by the side of Kadiri. It was unlikely, but somehow we end ourselves on a 4v4 with the operator down for the count on the side of Full House. That's going to be the orb now taken. Armageddon ready and waiting as a killjoy. A lockdown is going to be invested here, and it's interesting because of the Tejo unable to break utility anymore like they previously were able to first up on the release. That will be the lockdown found. Shots looking to be answered in. Vizsla needs to hide behind that box there, but he's tagged up just a little bit, and Dragon's going to be pushing out, trying to find a little bit more. Oh, it's a bit of a 1v1 scenario here as the rest of the site starts to get channel and choked hold by a couple of members, and this 1v1 needs to be sorted out quickly, or else Dragon's not going to have enough time to help the team out as the retake starts to ensue. Dragon's actually tagged down pretty low and needs to find this 1v1 safely, but Vizsla's actually got the HP advantage. We're looking to find something more here as most of the team's going to be coming in. It will be Kadiri trading it out as Vizsla actually finds the best of Dragon with that Sheriff here, and a couple of members going to continue. It's going to be Lou and Akana still answering back, and the lockdown now invested from the side of Vizsla, but it's on the opposite side of the map. This isn't what it's meant to be. It's messy, it's convoluted, and it's not coordinated the way that we were hunting for from the side of Full House. And that's going to be EKING with the 5th, and a bit of a weird one for us, Multi.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Vizsla did get the trade, took very long, like you said, then invested the lockdown. But at that point in time, you know, time had bled so far, and we couldn't really get anything else. So, to be fair, that I think Full House still kind of like half fought, and we'll be able to pull by for this next round, hopefully, as we look into the arsenal real quick. But you know, that was really kind of messy.
Yeah, honestly, it wasn't as coordinated as they probably wanted it to be, but, you know, silver lining, they've got 3 ultimates online. Viper's Pit with the Hunter series, extremely strong. Of course, Bladestorm up for the side of Feta. That saves you essentially $4,000. All you need to do is buy some armor, and you're chilling. And that's exactly what's going to go down. But let's not forget, a couple of vital ultimates were invested last round. The Armageddon paired with the lockdown as well. So that's just a huge bunch of stalling on the defensive side. That's now completely gone. And with that being said, I think EKING know this. That's why they're pushing mid so aggressively. And look at where they are. It's timing. It's going to be Vizsla and Dragon here looking to take the fight here on the push. It's going to be Vizsla answering back. Kadiri falling to the wayside as you see a 1-for-1 trade on both teams coming through, but Kitchen completely compromised. They need to find the shots, and does. Dragon's just so fast about it. Biggie Cheese, again, a little bit of answering back, but they're not going to be ready for the 3rd flank coming in. It will be Lou. A little bit slow on the play, and I don't think they would have expected a Jet to be lurking up mid as the final member of the team to crash on. The plant starts to go down. Zork in a great position to actually spam as soon as it kind of walks backwards here. And that's going to be actually better instead finding the kill. And 1-2 on the side of things. It's going to be minimized, instantly answering back and creating the 2v1. EKING, it's going to be a cheeky one here. And Feta escaping narrowly, but chances starting to opt to nothing here at this point. They've only got a shorty in hand. Need to pick a gun up. Somehow does, but it's not enough. It's minimized. Finalizes it all. 6-1. Gosh, Multi, these rounds are a bit messy, aren't they?
They have, but EKING a little surgical with that, to be honest. Sending these 3 players down mid, they're able to get a lot of these 1v1s, but the timing from Liu is just crazy impeccable, right? You don't, like, you expect a second slow lurk. No one expects a 3rd slow lurk coming from Kitchen. And that's where Liu's like just clutch potential came in right at the full end and turned the tides for King to get themselves that advantage. So once again, King, I'm sorry, Full House opting for a bit of a kind of force round, I believe. Yeah, just half shields across the way, a mixed arsenal bag. And here we have Vizsla going to be on the solo hold on B. They've done wonders on that anti-eco round with the Sheriff, but this will be tough. Only an alarm bot.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the force up here just kind of screams desperation at the moment. They need to stem the bleeding, and it doesn't seem like they're able to deal with the amount of utility that's coming out from the side of EKING, and they chalked it up to a bit of a stack on towards A, but it was the wrong letter of the alphabet in that choice, but it's still going to be sent away with a 1-for-1 trade here, but that's not going to be enough as Vizsla gets tagged up behind. 145 right to the back here. It's going to be an unfortunate situation, but not down for the count just yet. But you look at this post plan already ensuing. 4 members in B main ready and waiting right now. I mean, this is just not fair at the moment. It's planted perfectly for yellow. And that Tejo Salvo is going to be coming through special delivery. Not actually going to be sunning anyone out. It's going to be Akana looking to push forward, finding a kill for themselves. It's going to be 2 for 1 on the trade here. 3 make it. It's going to be Akana. Another special class coming in as Biggie Cheese has something to say about it, but it is a 2 for 1. And Biggie Cheese is so damn low. There's nothing they can do about it. 7-1 is EKING, reminiscent of a soccer scoreline from years prior.
Yeah, if the snowball is not evident, it has to be right now, right? Full House unable to really figure out any sort of plan at the moment. They tried delay tactics with some nano swarms here and there, but a couple of lucky shots through, and the oppressiveness from the post plant from EKING is just too much to handle, right? And second timeout in the first half already being called from the Full House. Both timeouts burned within the first 8 rounds here. Yeah,
and with that being said, it's not like we haven't seen something like this before. If anyone recalls 2023 EG were down 1-8 on Sunset. They called 2 timeouts in 9 rounds and then ended up winning, right? So we're looking for the same miracle to come out, but the problem is they don't have Jorgamo on their team. So we'll see who's going to be taking that role onto the side of Full House tonight. And, one thing to bring to light here, and I like to highlight for sure, is that Lou's actually not the top performing player on their team right now. Their game of life has not yet happened yet. It's Dragon going 11-5, Kadiri going 8-4, Minimize going 8-5. I mean, literally nothing but the controllers and the Sentis right now just overperforming. Like, it's so insane.
It is insane. Liu's still doing their part. 5 assists, the highest we've seen across all these 10 players. So, maybe some tags coming out, maybe some smokes that are coming out. Hey, new strat. Get Jet to be controlled with the smokes, yo.
Exactly. Hey, at the end of the day, if you've got 3 of them and they still amount to 12 seconds, we'll take it, right? And I think the crucial part here is that Akana doesn't even really need a gun. They haven't invested in Akana to take that gun because all they really need is to stand back as their ultimate goes through walls anyways. And oh, this is going to be a cheeky one, and somehow Dragon hits that shot! Oh, my days, you might as well call yourself Michael Jackson for that moonwalking bullet. That is diabolical. Dragon. We were just singing their praises just now, and I don't think we sang him enough. That's absolutely crazy. Lou gonna be instantly taken down by Biggie Cheese. Super sharp in his shots, but it's gonna be a Kadiri again answering right back. Biggie Cheese needs to pull off a little bit of a heroic play to even up the odds on this man disadvantage once again as the plant starts to go down. Just to draw the pick out. Oh, that's dangerous. But Akana, little devious on the play. The 1-2 is gonna be coming out to Sinaway instantly. Gonna be finding the head of Akana on the peak as Kadiri answers back with Biggie Cheese falling to the wayside. Bit of a dairy diabolical diacism coming through as Sinaway's left in that 1v3. It's going to be 1, but not enough. As Kadiri finds the hat trick, EKING are just unstoppable on Icebox.
Yeah, Full House playing poker. EKING's playing Valorant here in this Icebox match. I do want to say, like, Minimize, they actually held a little bit of time before the plant. Minimize was planting right around the corner from Biggie Cheese. You said it was a little dangerous, but the coordination, just waiting for the team come say, no, I got you, bro. I got you, and you can plant safely with the bullets flying around as cover. This is comms just flowing immaculately, or maybe no comms at all, just knowing how each other work.
Get out of my way.
Yeah, right now, a lot of heroic plays coming through, a lot of teammates just kind of pushing forward. I don't feel like Kadiri was playing back as you would essentially want Ascenti to be kind of holding fort. They were running to the back of the site, just crunching kills. And Dragon's actually playing Lurk a lot more than Kadiri actually is in this case. And you're looking at Lu. See, Bladestorm on towards B, solo duelist, dragging attention to make the 3 people sit. It's crazy right now. Feta gonna be answering back with, of course, a crucial headshot. A second one coming through as Kadiri near death at the moment. You look at Minimize Kadiri, literally a strong gust of wind would take both of them over. And because of that, it might be a little bit of that complacency check coming through that's killing the cat at the moment for the side of EKING, and Full House might have a chance on their horizon in a 5v4 scenario, and very quickly would be able to change down to a 4v2. Massive snake bite coming in, but the salvo is going to be instant answer back. Then they find a shot here and does. Feta can't go down yet. It's going to be a 2-for-2 trade. And then you've got Lu and Kadiri here in 2v3 scenario. Vizsla going to be answering back as Kadiri is going to be tagged down so damn low. 5 HP against 2 individuals.
30 seconds left.
Can they do it? Not going to be happening. The flank too good from Sinaway. 8-2 is going to be the scoreline. And Full House haven't stemmed the bleeding just yet. I'd be apprehensive to say that, but they've got something up against themselves now.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more of a breathing room, but I will say it's just a little lucky here with the trades coming within their favor.
30 seconds left.
Playing it just perfectly with the flank coming out from Sinaway, who is, might I just add, you know, a bit of pet peeve of mine, Merlin, holding on to that Viper's Pit for just a few rounds right now. So we'll see how things play out. Full House gonna be able to still buy up. Zaquick has the operator now in mind, perched up top. This will be the first start. But that cascade, beautiful to just block off the sightlines and let King scale up free and easy.
Yeah, for sure. And like you mentioned, holding onto that Viper's Pit's not ideal. But based on the nature of how Sinaway is playing, which is so lurk heavy, it's tough to utilize your Viper's Pit aside from just committing it to one side of the map instantly at the start of the round. But it's going to be minimized finding 1. But again, it's the price of 2 here. There's a couple of members dragging and minimized going to be falling to the wayside as Full House find a little bit of a man advantage here. But this play coming through, Armageddon invested, but still plant not down. And they're holding strong from the side of EKING, looking to find a pick before the spike gets planted. Dice going to be a compromised position at the moment as the salvos get invested, but still not going to be finding too much as Lu going to be answering with 2 massive headshots. It's going to be Vizsla now equalizing the odds, finding a 2-for-2 scenario, looking at Full House to gain a little bit of a second room on their advantage as Vizsla gets tagged just a little bit, and we're looking at this bit of a Mexican standoff as all 2 members can be walking forward. They need to be assertive, and Lu can't find the final despite a hat-trick coming through. Vizsla on 6 HP. Narrow odds by the skin of their teeth. Full House find their 3rd round.
Honestly, it was as narrow as it gets. Full House managed to scrape together a couple of rounds for their own, and a bit of heroics once again coming from Vizsla. He's paired up with their team member to get the final trade. I will say that they hesitated on that Armageddon as well, right? The Armageddon came out maybe to try to isolate the fights on A with the wall up as well, separated you away from the rest of your team. But you know, the defenders didn't storm the side and he let too many bodies fall. But Vizsla saved their hands just to get themselves that quick headshot.
Yeah, honestly, if Lu didn't repeat for that second right there and just jumped around the other side, I probably reckon that could have gone a completely different direction because Vizsla was tagged so low and they still had to defuse anyways. But again, in the heat of the moment, very tough to make these decision calls. And it's going to be Feta now blowing the Bladestorm, dashing up, drafting away, blowing almost every single piece of utility just to get back into a safe position. And you're looking at EKING putting forth the reckoning here, and that's going to be covering Feta's position as well, which means the whole site compromised. You're looking at everyone push forward. Somehow Biggie Cheese finds one through the smoke. It's absolutely diabolical as the high tide and the cascades were up. And they need to find a little bit more here as all team members coming through. But this lurk coming in. Vizsla needs to find value right here, right now. Viper's Pit up and alive, and I think they've made the call. They know that Vizsla's around. They're going to crunch onto this individual for a 1v2. 1-2. Not going to be finding any kind of value on the flank. As the defending Killjoy lockdown gets completely destroyed, we're finding massive plays coming through as Akana's going to be in a crucial position, but somehow both members fall to the wayside, all 3. It's Full House. We haven't caught a single one of those fights, but unfortunately, absolutely everyone just going to be dead to rights on the side of EKING. And I don't know what kind of resurgence came through in the last 3 rounds, but Full House have just won 3 in a row.
Either that was the stupidest play in the world or the best play in the world to be able to put your Viper's Pit up top on A, and then a counter Killjoy ultimate down south, just to squeeze these players into a bit of a kill box here. That is beyond my understanding. That was crazy. And you know, whether or not with luck or strat, it worked out, and Full House managed to climb back that last 3 rounds here into the second half.
Yeah, just a bit of a description and reminder of like what just happened, because we weren't able to fully capture that on the screen because of the level of chaos that happened. It was because the Viper's pit was down, but they split the team in half. Full House with Vizsla at the back, and the lockdown drawing 2 members away allowed for the rest of the team to jump with the verticality advantage up and down into the Viper's pit and catch a couple of people off guard. They were in there, just like how they're being caught off guard right now in the middle of the fights in mid, as well as Vizsla and Lu all going to be answering for a kill each, but a second one goes down. It's going to be interesting to see the rest of the round here. Vizsla going down means no holds coming through, but somehow they're just going to be taking the rope, and Kadiri just finds a free kill for themselves. A cheeky tag coming through, but it's going to be a man advantage already for the side of EKING. And Full House need to reconsider their options. The flank, Dragon giving them a taste of their own medicine. This is a crucial headshot. One second, and a third. It's Dragon with the fire and the flames. Once again, they strike.
We've sing praises for Kadiri and Dragon thus far in this first half, and now proceeding second half. Look at these flicks. That's disgusting. Disgusting shots. The headshots coming from Dragon as well. It's just aim training all day.
Oh my days. I mean, just when you thought Full House had a bit of a grip on the game right there, EKING take the throne and just slap it out of the hands of Full House. And 9-4 is great, but what's even better is that they bring it into double digits, and that's what they're on the cusp of doing on this anti-eco round, and something has to go catastrophically wrong for the side of EKING. The force-up will win! It's another force-up will win! It's a classic G2 strategy that's come alive in 2025! What is that? Oh my god! No, you can't be running and spraying at 30 meters and fighting headshots like that. It's diabolical. It's the force-up will win by, and we shall be victorious as Full House. Oh, 4 Stingers and a Spectre and a Dream, and they come alive on the 14th round. It's something we've seen time and time again, and at this point, I don't think I should even get surprised. You know, it's not even fair. How the heck can you keep finding free kills like this? The wall down at the ankles. It's free. I guess, why buy rifles? Why should you even buy rifles, right? Just buy Stingers, man.
Why aim if bullets? Why aim if bullets? Huh? Look at this! Look at this! Why don't my Stingers work like that? I should join an esports team. That's what I'm hearing. I need to get into an esports team and buy Stingers, because apparently that's how things work here, right? You're on your anti-eco, buy Stingers and win. Oh jeez.
It's just time and time again when you see the desperation do or die scenarios come out. It just seems to be the magic potion of success, you know, every single time. And with that being said, a 4-man push-up A main, I mean, a 4-sheriff firing squad. It's the whole county literally standing in front of you. And I think Full House have caught the notion of this instantly. And you're looking at Vizsla holding a crucial position with this Bulldog. I mean, gosh, if EKING forced up Stingers, they probably would have won this one back, honestly. But the Sheriffs I'm not so confident about right now. But we'll have to see what comes down for the side of Kadiri. Walking forward. Oh, cheeky spam minimized very low because of that. And this round, definitely a bit of a lull state as every member starts to grasp the puzzle pieces to try and put back together from the side of EKING, and Full House in a great post plant. Oh, bit of a tap.
As well.
Oh, look at this angle coming out from the side of Vizsla actually through mid. This is going to be a spray down of the Sentry should they catch themselves on the tube. Because a couple of members very low, every member falls like flies in a matter of seconds.
Jeez. Well, yep, kill feed lights up red, and it was just Full House taking that for themselves. I mean, rightfully so. Kings didn't go with the Singer strat and had just had Sheriffs, and I think one goes to their name. And their gamble stack on A, unfortunately, was that gamble. Full House just outpokered them from that perspective, called their bluff, and rotated on to the B's.
One enemy remaining.
I was a bit worried because they were pushing, lurking up in A. I wasn't sure if the timing would be there, but it all worked out in the end, a flawless for the attackers.
Yeah, which is awesome to see. Full House have pulled it back within 3 now, and they've got a solid chance of actually, you know, taking this map by storm, and they've really solidified it, you know, and stabilized, stem the bleeding, as we would typically say, and it's going to be all into the onus of EKING right now to find a little bit more onto the horizon, and their force up is right here. Lou in a crazy off position with the operator ready and waiting, but they need to hit this shot. This is crucial. It's 5 people. Chances are multiple members are going to be flushing out at the same exact moment, and Lou has to prioritize one target and one target only. Oh, Lou, this is going to be close. Are they going to be ready? Oh, the flush forward. The timing.
Oh my gosh.
You can't be doing this. You can't be doing this. I think they know. Timing is of the end.
They have to.
One shot, dash away on the flash. That's absolutely massive. How the heck is Lou still alive? Cascade coming through. They need to invest the high tide immediately here just to find a little bit of space. The updraft up is going to be on 17 HP. And they're looking to find a cheeky angle right now. Lou sees it. Flick, not going to be happening. Just the texture, not going to be playing into their favor. But Fury with 3, making 4 from the side of Minimize. It's EKING going nuclear.
Lou's done with assists. Lou is done with assists and wants to be back on top of that leaderboard with a disasterly play here. Just the patience to play that out. You know, no sound, no pressure being heard in A. They sent the Harbor over to the board and was able to just get both of them out of there. And then just the collapse, even before the spike came down.
Yeah, it's not every day you're going to be pushing B long, and you know, the first thing you see is an operator tucked into a close angle, right? Like, gosh, why are you standing there? Is kind of like the first immediate reaction, as Vizsla going to be taking that immediate reaction and putting it to toast, as Minimize immediately gets taken out of the map. Thankfully, EKING still have one more controller to count themselves on, or else it would be dire straight already. But a 4v5 already dire enough as the A site starts to get compromised by all 5 members. And that's a crazy kill from Kadiri. Just straight through the Viper's wall. I'm not even sure that if they saw him in that case, but another shot coming in. These are just free fires. Walking into the bullets is going to be Sinaway's head, and immediately a 3v4 instead of the 4v5 we initially established. But look at this timing. This timing from the flank. Dragons on a great angle. If they choose to go up towards Belt, it's absolutely free. There's nothing there holding them back, but I'm not even sure that's going to be necessary at this point. Lou finds a shot, a second. Goes nuclear on the 4-10 moment here. It's talking to find more than just one. Pushes forward. A cheeky right click needs the answer. Right back to the recon. Gets invested, but that's all she wrote. It's going to be 6-11. It's EKING starting to pull away again.
The moment Liu got an operator in your hand, as you call it, the disasterly boomstick, things just start falling apart, right? Liu's hitting more shots than they're missing, just taking all these weird angles to be able to just keep the attackers on a bit of an edge.
One enemy remaining.
It's just these pre-fires coming in, these shots. I feel like Full House are getting the plant down. They're over-committing too much utility onto the site, and they're left a little bit scrambled by the post-plant scenario. And, you know, Zork's trapped in a lot of bad positions right now to try and support the team. And you look at the team when they fall on the front lines, it's when it starts to fall apart like a house of cards from the side of Full House. And EKING are definitely prioritizing on that so much.
Okay, a bit of more default approach now from Full House, right? Spreading their players thin, actually, with that pressure on B, pulling a lot of bodies over. I'm not sure if they start to realize that it's going to be a pretty stacked site. Liu with the operator exploring mid. That's going to be a crucial one against Sinaway.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one for sure. A 3-1-1 split coming out from the side of Full House, which means they're indicatively trying to find a 3-1 split towards B, right? We're looking at that 3-man push. They want that singular lurk to come through and maybe make that a double, but Lou in a perfect scenario right now on this cross. It's a free shot. They're locked in. Oh, but Vizsla knows.
They know.
Vizsla's just too smart. Vizsla's been in too many of these scenarios too many times and does not want to feed a free one over, but does allow for that cross to make it a 4-1 split. Full House can be completely adapting and putting forward, but the dash! Oh, somehow every member falls. EKING were ready for the positioning. They even had the dash shortened with a special delivery. Well, a stun in that case, and somehow Full House just going to be turning right around, finding 3 kills immediately onto the site, and EKING have to have their tail between their legs on this round, and Akana, I do believe will be trying to just find a couple of kills to see if they can open up the round at all. But the operator all the way at spawn looks like it's already aiming to save, and Vizsla just gets to have a chill pill, bit of a vacation on A site, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, they made the right call. They spotted the op in mid. Fera getting a sneaky one as well. But they spotted the op in mid, right? And then they was okay, we know where the operator is now. It's go ahead onto B. They waited for the Viper, the defensive Viper orb, that one-way orb on top of that container to drop, and then it was just W key the whole way.
Yeah, it's crazy to say the least. We love to see it. Vizsla with a cheeky little tap through, but not going to be finding it. Luckily on the side of Lou. Oh, that last one was close. If they were standing up, would have been in the head. But we'll take it, and it's 7-11, my favorite convenience store, as we love to say. But, you know, it's going to be a scoreline tonight. This especially, it didn't even land into the smoke. Feta was probably dead to rights, but no, just turned around, cranked a 90, and just smashed 3 knives into the body of someone, and that's just all it is.
Yeah, and so now looking at that 7-11 score, you know, Full House having a bit of a footing, but not yet. Kings aren't broken just yet. Liu in another disasterly position, probably going to be spotted out by this drone. But, you know, the defensive side as well, they do have a couple of great ults, not yet deployed. See what happens here, though.
Narrow vibes, narrow vibes. Like a couple of snake ups could have happened, but it kinda. Oh gosh, I think Kovacs might be looking for a new ambassador right now, and Akana should be there. Honestly, these kinds of shots we've seen so often coming out from the side of Akana holding these pixel angles, and they just never seem to miss. Feta gonna be pushing forward immediately, but Akana with 2 more! We haven't caught the fight, but we see the repercussions. It's Akana with 3 already. The hatch will find another one here. It's gonna be taken down by Feta, crucially. But look, the spike is get picked up, does get picked up, understanding that that's happened now. Means that, hey, hold the rotations is calling EKING here, and you're looking at where they're standing, all towards mid, bunched up. They don't need to flood into A because the Viper's pit's already there, ready and waiting, and the rotation on B ensues.
Yeah, and it's going to be a bit of a tall order, right? Kajiri does have the lockdown as well that they can use to deploy once that penny drops, which should be anytime soon. King are playing the advantage, right? They have more players, double, basically, and will be able to, at the very least, regroup here and come into full storm. But Biggie Chi is doing the smart thing, pushing up, maybe trying to get sneaky picks of their own.
The push-up here could be a bit of a double-edged sword. They do have the Armageddon and the salvos are waiting, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to, you know, do more than just one here because they're trapped in a one-and-done position. Special delivery. The jumping around special from the side of Kadiri instantly gets tapped out, but it's going to be Feta now down to 37 HP. It's going to be all on EKING with the push-out, the double, the 1-2 not happening for Feta. Going to be 7-12 match point from the side of EKING, and I'm not sure. I feel like Biggie Cheese, barring that, if they had no util, it would have been a fair play to push up, try to find the entry kill, try to keep the numbers close, but they had salvos and Armageddon, so I'm not too sure.
No, I 100% agree. That's probably it as well. And Akana just also understanding the movements now of the attacking Killjoy, just need to wait for that slow lurk up, getting a nice 3k, and then the proactive Viper's Pit, right? Just basically deny the site and make it painful or as dissuasive to even consider that A site anymore. So great shot coming from against that match point. So much to ask here, and King want to be able to take that fight on.
Yeah, it's going to be a push-up immediately. Lou needs to find these shots immediately. Pushing through, it's going to be minimized. There's still 7 ultimates online for the whole teams. It's going to be Zork and Biggie Cheese all landing kills for themselves, creating a 3v4 scenario. And that's going to be Zork finding another one, making it a 4v2. And they've only got a lockdown to utilize now, as they've blown absolutely everything from the side of EKING. Hunter Suri was put forth, didn't find much value. Still 3 ultimates aware, ready and waiting for the side of Full House. They put the Hunter Suri, the lockdown, and the Armageddon. Kadiri with a massive flick, but Akana in a great position, but the double drone scenario is going to be really tough to deal with as the lockdown gets committed. Needs to find another shot. Vizsla immediately down. Can they run away in time? Akana, if they get away, it will create a 2v2 scenario. It's playable, and they've got a shock dart. Great positional advantage right now coming out from the side of EKING as the post plant starts to come through. But Biggie Cheese has literally everything ready to use. Hunter Suri going to be invested to counteract the Killjoy lockdown, and the push through needs to ensue right now. 1-2 doesn't happen as Zork, a crucial hat trick following forward, and that's Kadiri falling to the wayside. 4 for Zork. They're holding on by a thread, but that thread might be made of metal. It's 8-12 to the side of Full House.
It's basically down to the trades, right? You saw EKING's just defensive retake position. The lockdown came out. Immediately, the recon went to the corner that they normally run towards. Once that recon detected that no one was there, Zoak immediately changed focus, right? So it's just all these protocols that come out, and it fortunately went the way of Full House from that perspective, being able to get these crucial one-on-ones.
Yeah, and EKING are just going to play it safe. They're going to half eco here, just make sure they can buy up next round completely together. But a double hold, Bucky ready and waiting. The spam too much to deal with. Minimize can't do much more than that. And the Teo drone coming out means Lou has to dash away before they get suppressed, or it's just going to be a tough one to deal with. And already a mana advantage solidified for the side of Full House. We see 3 members onto the side of B already, and it might be a fast one here. We've seen Full House's, explosion executes on towards B, and I'm not sure EKING are going to be ready for it, especially considering they only have a Sheriff and a Vandal here. Marshall, mind me, and Snake Bite. Invested. A shot needs to be found. Not going to be happening. It's going to be sent away instantly with a headshot. Jumping on top of the box. Ooh, a nice headshot coming in from Dragon. Sharp shots. We love to see it, but a spam even better. Can't even see you, but you still go down. Is going to be Feta. Just putting a bit of a rain of dairy on across the map. And that's going to be Feta finding the second there, equalizing the round instantly. Final member, Akana. Not much to deal with here, only a classic in hand, and it'll be more than just something catastrophic. It'd have to go so wrong for anything to happen here. As Feta finds a hat trick, systematic and surgical like we saw from Full House. We love to see it. And it's still going to be 9 and 12, 3 away from each other, but I know EKING just one away from victory.
I like the mid-round call as well, just to be able to wait for the impatience from the side of EKING to run out and allow you to, peek out impatience, waning, and let themselves get that early entry kill, and just, numbers fell bit by bit, stone by stone from that perspective. King, 1 away from that timeout. Oh, sorry, 1 away from claiming the map, their map under their belt here, calling a bit of a timeout to maybe try to just get that final one over the board. They've now been able to stack up in terms of arsenal. They have a reckoning on board as well for maybe some level of a retake here, but Big Cheese also holding on to that Armageddon. We'll see what they want to be able to play here as they start to figure things out. And I gotta sing praises once again for Kadiri and Dragon. 20 and 19 kills to their name, and Feta is right up with them, to be honest, 21, and it's just unable to really convert these rounds for the Full House team.
Yeah, 100%. And, considering that they started 1 and 8, I feel like this is already a rude awakening for the side of EKING. They had a mad advantage going forward, and they've come out on the other end. They're on match point now, but Full House are definitely hot on their tails, and EKING, it's not all about, hey, we're up by 3. It's more like they're kind of up by 1 at the moment, because if they lose this round, they're forced onto another eco, which most likely will then go to the way of Full House, and then they'll have to force up a couple of, interesting rifle, like light armor buys, which isn't exactly advantageous, and then all of a sudden you're at OT. The economic sway is really crucial, so they need to make sure that they win this round convincingly, or else it might actually drag onto OT, and Full House will be able to claw it all the way back.
Stale here. They didn't utilize. They sent out drone. They had the initial Sova drone. Now they sent out the Spider just to clear that. But right now Minimize is tucked so far forward to support the breaking of those drones, and they called right. They're worried about Liu being pushed up and set their sight somewhere else.
Yeah, but look at the A site. So much space already being taken. Ikana's going to be in a great spot. Instant headshot here if anyone walks through that pathway. However, going up belt, this is going to be dangerous, because standing in that spot, if they push up belt completely, they will see Ikana just standing there. So it's going to be super, super important that they don't let that happen. Kadiri not going to be pushing forward any further than that. Boiler compromised just a little bit here, walking forward. Sees the head, surely. That it's going to be Zork and Sinaway instantly finding the kill here. They see the head. The spam's going to come right through. Dragon not going to be going down just yet, as Reckoning going to be coming forth from the side of Minimize, of course. And that's going to be 1-for-1 immediately. unfortunately, it will be for the Viper Spit now. Invested in 3 members, sitting right into the poison orbs that don't affect him. Looking to find something of value, but it's still a 3v4. Time is of the essence. The 4-10 play, the jump down shorty, the high tide, the 1-2 doesn't hit. It's going to be Dragon. Equalizing one. They need to find the plan immediately. Going down, need to find it. Odiri and Dragon again and again with a 3-2 split. It's the show of the top fraggers. It's 13-9. EKING find it.
Win.
Beautifully done from the E-Kings. That reckoning came in just as they were trying to flood the site. Right, the win con was to be able to just delay the plot, make a mess of the situation, and yes, that Viper's Pit deployed by Full House tried to give them a little bit of space, but just the stuns coming out from that reckoning was so oppressive, and it just ran out of time for the attackers to maybe do some sort of regroup. Not in the question at all.
Oh, that's crazy. That round was so chaotic. It really came down right to the wire, and you know, Kadiri able to find that final headshot crucially, and that was probably the one kill that brought him all the way to the top of the ACS right then and there. Going to be 13-9 between both of these teams. A valiant effort from the side of Full House that almost came back strong and swinging, and we're probably like a round or two away from literally breaking it back into OT, which is awesome to see. Going to be moving on to Sunset, but with the showing tonight, I think Sunset might actually be a lot closer than we first imagined. Multi, this is going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Full House gave EKING for a run of their money. You know, we talked about stats the last couple of nights, and EKING normally defeat their opponents in a 13-4, 13-5 fashion. To come to a 4-round deficit is terrific. But I want to also talk about stats on the board right now, right? Full House have more First Bloods than the Kings themselves. It's just a matter of the Kings able to regroup and get themselves back on the board despite having a player disadvantage. And that's just so spectacular from their perspective. It shows the level of team play that even on a map like this, map number 2, Sunset, we haven't seen that much. They're able to scrim together and pull off victories.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see how Game 2 is going to be planned out. And with that being said, we're going to get that all readied up for the viewers tonight. So everyone at home, thank you so much for spending another beautiful evening in this action-packed series of Valorant between EKING and Full House. And with that being said, EKING now up 1-0 in this series, 1 game away from taking the Uppers Finals, guaranteeing themselves a spot in the Grand Finals. With that, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 5 minutes after a little bit of a break just to make sure we get all the tweaks ready for Game 2. Take care of yourselves, get some calories in your system. We'll see you back in 5. What is that? Kadiri! And welcome back to the VCT Split 1 playoffs match between EKING and Full House. It's the upper finals. It's EKING up 1-0, and we're taking ourselves over to the beautiful map of Sunset that has rolled its way back into the competitive pool here. Multi, this is a lot closer than I thought, considering how EKING started. What do you think's gonna go down here?
I'm gonna go back on my soapbox, okay, Merlin? I'm gonna say a few things. It can go one of either way. This is Full House's map pick. They have no public appearances on Split 1 on Sunset, which just came back, right? And EKING has had two very dominating performances on this map. So either Full House come back with some crazy counter strats and shut EKING down, because we've had at least two VODs that you can study on the side of EKING. Full House are holding all their poker cards to themselves, or Full House gambled incorrectly and EKING's come out with your prediction in victory. So it really could swing either way. It's a do or die moment for Full House in this best of 3, and they need to show up and clear stock.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to be looking forward for another cheeky little Omen boost, coming through from EKING. It's one of my favorite things, getting nerdy about the game, and Full House need to know when that's going to come out. I feel like EKING haven't shown all their cards. They really have taken this composition on just a couple of games, and I don't think they got pushed that hard, right? You look at yesterday, they went up against on Sunset as well, took the same comp. They ended 13-7, but we don't want to forget that they lost pistol and bonus. They started down 3-0, and then they came back, won 13-7, which means on average, they pretty much only just lost 3 rounds from their bye round onwards, and that counts the second half as well. So EKING definitely a strong showing, and I don't think they've been pushed that hard on Sunset. So we'll have to see whether or not, a lot of the times when you get pushed hard, some teams break. Some teams really show you that they've got more depth to their play than they internally expected. And Full House really need to bring all the stops today. They need to put the Royal Flush onto the table and win this hand, or else it's 2-0 and they're going to be falling to lowers immediately.
Yeah. Full House have the privilege to be on attack side for Sunset, where the Kings choose their defense. And, from history's perspective, the couple of maps that EKING have played on Sunset, they've run double sentinels, right? So I wouldn't be surprised for that to come out again. The Cypher, the Sage, to be able to just stack and hold their defenses well with a bit of poke and prod and a bit of sharpshooting. And Full House need to be able to pierce that through. Their defensiveness of EKING have shown strong, and so a bit more cheekiness might come out from Full House. Do you run like double duelist? Do you run double initiated to really try and break some of the setups from EKINGs? You have to be creative, or else you'll be cooked.
100%. At the end of the day, I want to see some kind of counters come through. I feel like Fade has not been a great answer to Full House's comp. A lot of the time, it doesn't find value on that Haunt or that Snare, and we've seen EKING get out of those scenarios a lot. The Nightfall has not been particularly effective. I'm not even sure if Tabro is a good counter against the Omen Sage as well. The Resurrection and the heals are just so strong at the moment. They get right through the chip damage, and we've seen the amount of times, I even called it out yesterday, that mid-fight with a heal, bringing a second member on board, it is so strong. Like the amount of rounds that EKING won, either because they got a heal off or they got a resurrection off, it was ridiculous, right?
Yep. Like there was at least 2, maybe 3 rounds that the resurrection came in so clutch. And so then do you go down the route of bamboozlement? Maybe Full House opt to run a Yoru plus an ISO to maybe poke and really apply pressure on a defense. We're about to see here as the graphics are showing their hand, and okay, Full House opting for a Neon. Okay, the Breho, basically the Breho coming online against the tried and true composition from the EKINGs, double sentinels online.
Yeah, this is interesting coming out from the side of Full House, playing the Tabro, playing the Neon as well, on top of the Neon Omen Cypher core. We've seen this both from Hornswogglers that brought it onto Sunset. I do believe something similar last night as well, when EKING went up head-to-head up against... skips my mind. but it was a similar composition with Neon also coming alive. And, you know, the amount of times that Neon got shut down, you know, Relay Bolt coming through and it was being ineffectively taken account for because the slow orb's just right in front of your foot. And then all of a sudden you have Yoru flashes coming through, you've got, you know, an Omen Paranoia coming in, and then a shock dart landing at your feet again. It's really tough, right, for the Neon to actually enter into the site when up against these two Sentinels.
Yeah, and especially because Full House, they don't have a Sova, which is a common counter against some of the Cypher trips that EKING will put on the defense. Yes, they have Biggie on that breach with the Aftershock, but do you really want to spend that when you can use that to maybe push players out of position? Zakik with the salvos, only if those trips are low enough, I think. I think if they're positioned at head height, I'm not sure if those salvos will be able to get through those.
Yeah, 100%. You know, that's something that I just can't stop thinking about, especially with the way that EKING is kind of prioritizing their game plans. A lot of the time, you know, they split up their senties and they take a lot of map control, just like they are right now, just walking out mid, just prodding, you know, trying to find some kind of information. Feta already finding heal for themselves, which is absolutely massive, just spamming through the box on towards mid, which is not what EKING were hoping for. They were trying to prod through mid and find a bit of an interesting play, but unbeknownst to them, they had 4 members ready and waiting. And Zork gonna be standing right behind the box. This is gonna be a crazy showdown of similar situations. Oh, this is Full House coming in with a game plan, and I feel like EKING have walked right into it. There's nothing they can do about it. A complete dismantling, and we love to see it. This composition has its weaknesses, and they're getting prioritized immediately upon Vizsla with 3. Massive play from Full House, 1-0 for them.
Okay, we have a show in front of ourselves. Pistol going the way of the attackers here. I like the way they basically contested that mid space, and then EKINGs did what EKINGs do best, right? You rotate through peripherals. If mid is taken, you want to be able to contest, but Full House are just ready for that, and a beautiful timed Aftershock as well to be able to catch that Omen running away. Tail tucked, but will die at the final moments as well. So Full House have the advantage. Now, how long can they hold on to that? They need to hold on to this for dear life as Kings once again apply pressure in this mid space.
Yeah, immediately you see the prioritization of EKING's game plan. They know that this comp, you know, well versed. They versed it twice at this point, especially that Neon start coming through. They're going to be playing a little bit differently because they've lost the pistol, of course, but, you know, nothing out of the ordinary for them. Again, another relay ball coming through, but another bunch of eco kills coming in. Another sentience of win, and that's the bomb down. 2 guns found the Vandal in hand. I mean, this can't get any worse for the side of Full House right now. Dragon with a double headshot, Zork low for the count. I mean, this is absolutely everything that EKING could have hoped for, just walking in, dropping the bomb in their possession. Now Full House have to find something for themselves. The jump down from Dragon would be crucial, but Sidaway finds the kill. Oh, this could be actually the opening. Full House were hunting for, but no, Kadiri has something to say about it. A sharp shot coming through. A couple of members need to find the value right away. Salvo's coming down. Kadiri going to be pushed out just a little bit. Gets taken down by the Salvos as well. Not sure why you would stand in there instead of running out and challenging the kill, but that's going to be Vizsla finding the headshot. That will be an expensive round for Full House, but a win regardless.
Dicey, real dicey there, especially with Minimize, the stage wall coming out, able to basically get the rifles for themselves, and the smart trade from Kadiri to pick that up and get Sidaway out of action. But Kadiri, you know, gamble, hoping that those salvos were not placed in the right position, gave their life away. Very, honestly, lucky from the side of Full House, as well as good utilities from there. So Kings now looking at a big fat 0, trying to fight their way through, hold on to A, but quickly giving up to Full House as their utility trades come out stronger. A lot of information gained from that camera positioning as well. And the wall up already.
Walking forward here, it's going to be an interesting play already coming through from the side of Full House, of course. They've essentially been handled only one lane to get in. They have to walk through that little choke point that the Sage Wall's now created, which isn't ideal. A couple of members standing right there. Still, 4 members ready and waiting from the side of EKING, but silence bellowing upon the site of Sunset right now. And Full House just want to hit the classic cut noise re-hit. Hopefully they draw a rotation away. I don't think that's going to be happening. EKING love to stand still right on silent plays. This is the timing. Shot needs to be found. Oh, a crucial one from Vizsla. Still finds the one for themselves, but it's going to be minimized instantly. Answering back and finding a kill twice over. And the heal starting to come through. That's what a massive flash coming in. Oh, this is just a complete dismantling on the bonus right here as EKING continue their domination on a site of Sunset once
30
more.
seconds left.
The double Senti setup just goes massive every single time. And you're left in a 1v3 with a Spectre in hand. And that's crucial from Minimize. 4 ulti orbs for 1 round, and they're 1 away from the resurrection.
Disgusting from Minimize, right? 4K from there. Started off with the trade off the Sova here. Able to swing around and catch people coming up from elbow immediately. And get away with their life. Absolutely demolishing everybody streaming into a full house. Tried to do the cut noise and hopefully Kings rotate, but the Kings were more than happy to do a full retake if like everyone to be.
Yeah, 100%. We need to definitely, you know, think about how Full House need to combat themselves moving forward here, right? Like, that was a complete dismantling when they had even gun states almost, and bringing forward a couple of guns for themselves. It seems like EKING going to be playing this one a bit safer with a couple of, you know, shorter buys coming in. The Outlaw, of course, from the side of Minimize, and just a classic for Akana. I believe they must have donated a gun over to a teammate. And Vizsla already tagged incredibly low despite having a stinger in hand here. And it's the classic. It's the classic wall mid, jump on top and see if you can find anything, right?
That's so powerful with the Outlaw in hand as well, because you know that Full House are going to be in a kind of a rough spot at the very least. You know, not full buys across. It's going to be Dragon here. At least gets rid of the trip, but backs off. Give the space over. One-way smoke popped. And, you know, Full House opting for a different approach, really working the map here, holding on to that mid-space with the camera as well. Oh, never mind, not enough.
Yeah, it's going to be another crucial kill coming through. Biggie Cheese falling to the wayside. And let's not forget, Vizsla's down to 10 HP as well, which means, you know, a bit of a tight inning situation coming out from the side of Full House, and they're going to be opting for that 3-man rush onto a site. They know that Vizsla's low, so even if they're lurking, I don't think EKING's going to be scared at all. It's going to be Minimized, fighting another couple of shots straight onto Feta here. As you take a look at this scenario, it's not ideal. 140 instantly traded. Akana also finding Vizsla in mid as Lou catches 2 on the back end side of the round. It will be 2-2. It will be equalized, and Full House's buy round completely disintegrated.
Yeah. Gonna have to full save now. Walking into
One
round
enemy
5.
remaining.
No, that's stage with the Outlaw doing absolute work in mid, and then just to rotate over to that A site, and with the support of Liu, those flashes deadly. We've seen it time and time again on this Sunset, just dominating and suppressive with those retakes and those repeaks to allow bodies to drop. Timeout for the poker players here. Full House need to try to figure out if they need to adapt. You know, it's still early in the game, to be honest. 2-2 tied up, not too bad, Merlin, but maybe they want to adjust things early on.
Yeah, for sure. The timeout calling out here, even though it's an even state coming through from both teams, it's pretty important to realize that the 2 rounds that they actually lost were pretty big slammers, right? You look at EKING just dominating on that bonus round. Of course, it was their buy up after all, but, you know, subsequently after, they didn't actually force too hard, right? You equidistantly see now $5,000 on a couple of members of their team because Akana only had a pistol. They only Minimize only had the Outlaw, and they've completely been handed straight onto a silver platter with that 2nd round win. And now you look at Full House, they have to go on the eco, and then EKING now get pretty much a free round on their hands.
Yeah, indeed, and you know, the ultimate orbs not really cycled up just as quick. You know, Biggie maybe a couple away from that rolling thunder, might opt to maybe harvest the one outside B. But you know, we'll see as we stack up, because it's just sheriffs across the board. A stinger in the hands of Feta. Now Neon's with one of those, maybe deadlier than we think. So cage trigger. See how this plays out as the slow orb comes out. A lot of poking and prodding, and EKINGs maybe think this might be a bit of a fake.
Yeah, it's going to be an instant run through. A lot of utility going to be invested straight onto the side as Salvos come through. Relay Bolt going to be invested, but Dragon still finds the headshot instantly. But again, Buy Up will win. It's going to be the Stinger finding success once more. Marker completely given over. Feta needs to find value now. Does almost, but it's going to be Dragon landing the headshot crucially. Narrative shorted, and that's going to be the resurrection coming over instantly. A 4v3 created back to a 5v3 scenario, and the other three members only have Sheriffs. They need to land the shots quick, fast, and smart right now. It's Biggie Cheese with one. It's going to be Visible with the other, but that's just too much to deal with. It will be EKING winning a third round for themselves.
Yeah, and the snowball continues, you know, 3 rifles being brought over to round number 7, and Full House will be able to buy up, but it's gonna start being crucial for them to win these rounds and stem the bleeding coming out from the Kings. You know, this is what I remind everyone, this is their map pick, and they need to get this under their belt to keep the best of 3 going. Work being done with that Stinger is not enough. One's not enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, 100%. You know, you're looking at this being Full House's map pick, but right now I feel like that map pick is so irrelevant because both teams are good. You know, surely we see Full House definitely have a good game plan going under them, and they're very, very adept at utilizing the Tabro composition. And EKING, of course, I mean, proven already. They're just so strong at using this composition as well. That's minimized! You can't be loosening your grip on these sight holds as Minimize just walks forward with an operator and catches someone in spawn. Biggie Cheese probably didn't see that one coming as Vizsla was so close. And with that being said, already a 4v5 scenario and the second resurrection already starting to build its ulti orbs, just 3 away now. Zork crucially finds another kill for themselves as Minimize gets spammed out quite a lot here, but needs to find that shot immediately. Oh, the one tap not going to be coming through from the side of Zork. I think they want to challenge it just to find this advantage for themselves. The heal for themselves. Salvo is now invested inside. Of course, Luke going to be finding a kill for themselves. Pushing out, doesn't see the shot. Minimize going to be giving right out here. They want to see something else, but it will be Dragon trading it out upon that information gathered, but it's still 3v2 scenario coming through from the side of EKING. They've gotten a good advantageous trades, a couple of 1-for-nones at the moment, and definitely Full House on the back foot of this retake, and that positioning from Cinnaway. That is such a one-and-done position. You have to find absolutely everything in one go. That's a paranoia come through. I'm not sure it's hit just yet. They're walking onto the side completely free of charge. Kadiri going to be landing one. Immediately, it's going to be all up to Vizsla in a 1v2 scenario. It's a tap. It's a fake. They're not onto it. A third one starting to get the halfway point here. They need to get the shot immediately, but no! Dragon always comes in clutch. Stone-footed in their play, sure-sighted like a dead eye in the night. It will be EKING getting their 4th.
Disgusting, honestly, just so calm and collected. And chat called it right. The battle sage from Minimize popping up, getting a beautiful shot onto Biggie Cheese, robbing away any sort of chance of using that rolling thunder onto a site, and then it was just kind of like bodies dropping here and there. I gotta call it to Minimize, you know, not using your wall too early, thinking about strategically throwing that up as and when you think it will actually slow down or deny access. That is the name of the game here. That is the name of the game.
Yeah, that's just going to be absolutely massive for sure. And again, they're going to be playing the same kind of play towards market with that operator ready and waiting. The flash going to come through, and they want to catch this shot. Minimize in a great position right now, but they're going to be all inching towards A, which will be the correct answer for the side of Full House. This is their weaker side of the map. They only have that Cypher utility paired with the Cypher close by in towards mid lane, and that's going to be instantly the spy cam capturing 4 different members coming through. Cage looking to get invested, but it's already coming in through the side of Speedway, and that's going to be a push through immediately from the side of 3 members. Omen, Neon, and Breach all walking forward. Teho in tow, and it's going to be Vizsla Smith out to about 5 HP, but still timing is of the essence. Overdrive going to find one for themselves. It's going to be 2 instantly going down. Milk need to find more, but it's going to be sharp shot still. It's a 3v4 scenario, and they need to find a lot more than just that. Cinnaway and Vizsla so damn low. It's going to be Kadiri instantly with a strong headshot coming through, and Zork falling to the wayside, and you're looking at a 2v3 scenario. It's always the ape shot coming in. It's diabolical. Biggie Cheese still finding one on the back end side of things. The last member, it's going to be minimized. Caught on guard. 4-3. Full House finding amongst the chaos.
Well, if Minimize had the flick of a century, it may have gone a little differently, but fortunately was able to finally be gunned down here. Messy round, investing a lot of ultimates at the very least, right? The Rolling Thunder plus the electrical beam is coming out able to separate the site and at least catch people in elbow coming out off guard. And so wonderful, wonderful recovery from the side of Full House. They're gonna be able to at least pick up that, you know, the operator within the hands of Vizsla, now leading the scoreboard at the very least as well.
Yeah, and the push forward, Vizsla with the open shot operator, minimize instantly falling to the wayside, and you look at the plays coming through, it's the same deal. Akana going to be landing it back with the Hunter Street to find a consolation prize, but it's still a couple of members falling for the side of EKING, and they're left in a man disadvantage. I don't think they were expecting the operator to just walk out A main completely free of charge, and Vizsla capturing that little bit of essence, and you see a 2-1 split now for the side of EKING as the lull state ensues.
Yeah, but there was a one-way smoke, right? Minimize maybe thought they were safe, but ran out with the, I think, the wall in hand nonetheless. So maybe get a height advantage onto that box. It wasn't meant to be, as now we set our sights on to the red pings are coming out, and I think the camera would, if used late enough, will be able to spot a lot of information.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be perfect. The salvos with the stun, oh, narrowly escaping, but Kadiri's still going to be stunned up in the open at the back of the site. Still doesn't get caught out. Oh, my days. It's completely free every single time. Kadiri continues to find so much advantage. And another shot. It's perfect. That person had an operator. Vizsla falls immediately. Now the Armageddon has to get invested, but it's a bit of a, you know, dead to right scenario right now, and Sork needs to find absolutely everything and almost has found one. Needs to continue forward. Another tag coming through, and that's so much to deal with, but not enough. It will be Kadiri again and again and again. They're just so good at finding the clutch. Another hat trick for the Cypher main.
Just to be able to have just the patience, the audacity, and stick it, you know, the secret package came straight in their face, just held their ground like the anchor that they are on that B side, and claim a couple of beautiful kills. Biggie is caught with their pants absolutely down, and it was all over before you knew it. You know, Kings just feel so good on this map.
Player standing.
Yeah, honestly, that was so close despite it being a 1v3. Zork almost found it, but not going to be happening today. And with that being said, that's going to push them into a bit of a light buy. From the Shadows, instantly invested here, coming out from the side of Sinaway, looking to find some information. They're walking towards mid. Dumping right in, but they're going to be putting the relay bolt forward. It's multiple. It's still Kadiri that still finds one despite the relay bolt. Needs to find more here, as it's going to be all onto Lou. The sharp shot needs to come through. Fake out going to be coming in. Akana fighting two on the back end side. A third! Oh, Akana just too damn good. Sinaway seemingly forgotten because of the From the Shadows, but the paranoia comes through, instantly blinding them and putting them in a dire scenario. And you're looking at a straight up firing squad. All three members just looking for Sinaway, but this round's as good as over. That's the spike dropped in mid. It's going to be a tough one for Sinaway to do anything here.
Blocked off by the smoke as well. You know, there's a chance. There's a world where that happens, but that ain't going to be here in this multiverse. The operator being chucked away. They don't want that back in the hands of Minimize, who had basically taken that back on their win in that previous round. But okay, 8 bullets. Sinaway probably has made some sound, right?
Yeah, I think that's why the shot came out. A cheeky little peek and a reveal, and Dragon wants to take it, but Sinaway's going to run away, tail between their legs, scaredy cat mode. It's all that she wrote. It will be EKING pretty much coming up with a 6-round bar in the next 12 seconds. And let alone that, it will be a 6 for the side of EKING. They've doubled their rounds on top of Full House right now, and they're looking very, very confident.
That's the thing about mid, right? That's the tricky thing about Sunset mid, is that the flank on flanks potential here is so crucial, with Akana pushing out through doors and just claiming 3 in quick succession with that Guardian. Working the map is hard as an attacker because you have to really remember exactly which positions you're giving up and which need to be held on in case a counter push comes out.
Yeah, and another timeout coming through. It's going to be Full House now reconsidering their options. Let's just not forget here, it's kind of like last map. Both timeouts used, and in this case, it's also within, you know, 9 rounds, right? At the first half. Full House really need to reconsider their options right now, because if they keep on losing right now, they're going to fall straight down to lowers, and it's going to be a bit of a hit onto that mental game for sure. And EKING are running with so much momentum. Minimize tonight has been literally on fire. and they haven't been able to stop themselves. This is the second resurrection, and it's actually been online for a couple rounds already, which means they can utilize it this round. They might be able to, you know, score a couple of big kills, big sets of 3Ks in the next couple, and have another resurrection before the round, the half is even over. So that's a definite possibility right now, and Full House need to reconsider those options.
Yeah, you know, we really haven't quite seen Full House work the map in the later half of this, you know, last 10 rounds-ish. You know, once again, all kind of fully stacked around here. Dragon putting out an aggressive one-way smoke, but likely to be really quickly disrespected with the drone coming out. Spam through. Dragon will be able to counter that, but that's a lot of pressure and already drawing so much attention from the Kings.
Yeah, 100%. And we're going to be running straight onto the execute right here. It's a buy round coming out from both teams here. And you're looking at Feta jumping straight to the back of the side. It's going to be all 5 members committing themselves onto the site now. As Vizsla instantly is the first point of contact. Then Zork going to be landing onto themselves. The Dragon instantly with the spray down. Finds 2 for themselves. They sit away. And Vizsla all going to be landing a kill for themselves as well. The return of all fronts minimized. Need to be walking through. Spycam spots it. Not going to be ascertaining the left-hand side as Vizsla finds a hat trick. That was way too chaotic.
Yeah, but that's the thing about Neon, right? You realize that Feta had pushed up so far deep into A, but then decide to tuck themselves deep in that corner. Dragon holding the other angle, but you know, no trades happen. Waiting for the rest of your team to come up here. In the replay, you see, not overextending is needed. In the past few times with Bobo as well as Quanswagglers, you see the entry just being left alone, that space quickly regained by the defenders who just take that 1v2 or 1v1 kill, and it was over and done with. But that was probably the saving grace for the Full House team.
Yep, Kadiri's just spotted 4 different people run up. I don't think they spotted Neon because Neon was already too far up and too close to the wall. That's more than enough information. Minimize going to be finding one immediately. Vizsla going to be taken down on that spray one way. And Kadiri's got a second runway ready and waiting as the salvos come out, but they've got a trip right in, but they've just completely jumped over it. Feta with the leaps of Usain Bolt, but it doesn't even matter. Minimize still going to be finding a second for their troubles here. A double trip coming in. Zork instantly taken down after finding one for the trouble. Cineway needs to find a little bit more. It finds a headshot here, but it's still going to be a 3v2 scenario. And that Spike is in a dire position in the open of the site right now. They're waiting for the smoke to come back up, and the dark cover gets reassessed and redeployed in towards CT, which it's going to put EKING down onto the side to try and push through, finding one in towards the back end side of things as the Rolling Thunder from down under comes through. It's going to be a crucial shot. It's Ikana instantly created a 1v1 as 2 kills go down, and this is the dire moment. This is the pivotal round. The final shots to be found. It's going to be all up to BTs, and he clutches it out. It's 6 and 5. It's Full House within one.
Round before the switch.
Wow, that was so messy. That was really close, to be honest. The reposition of these 2 trips coming from the side of Kadiri, I think there was a bit of a panic there, but it actually stopped, I think, one of the players from Full House from scaling all the way into the side, and you know, allowed EKINGs to get themselves a bit of advantage. But you know, Big Ichi is just able to dance around default and get that final 1v1 under their belt. So crucial. It's as close as it gets we've ever seen on this Sunset.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's an almost 6-6 half, and it's probably almost guaranteed at this point because of the buy-up that's coming through from the side of EKING. Of course, you never know until you know. But looking at 2 Sheriffs, mind you, just one actually, one with Classic and a Stinger in hand, 2 Guardians. They need to find absolutely everything, and it's going to be Vizsla just holding that flank. But I don't think they realize that there's going to be 3 there. But in that case, it doesn't really matter. They find 2 for the price of 1 as the Resurrection comes out, recreating themselves a bit of a 3v4 scenario. Make that a 2v4 because of the instant kill that comes through. A massive one coming into the side of Lou, but just not going to be enough there as the round's pretty much over. 6-6, good half. We're moving on to, you know, the swap of the rounds.
Yeah, a bit of a resurgence, you know. After that timeout, Full House managed to find their footing just a little bit. You know, some good execs, a bit, maybe everything a little bit messy, but able to get those trades and get themselves back up. All hero plays, but sometimes that's all you need to get yourself back on the board and into a tie position. That's really, really good for, you know, playing against a team that have spectacular demonstrations on the Sunset.
Yeah, and let's not forget, right? EKING playing double Sentinel here. They are literally
Yeah.
going 6-6 on defense. And now they put on attack, which is the real test of this scenario. And EKING are going to be pushed here for sure. I'm not too sure how that's going to go up against them. Again, they're really, really strong on attack in general. We've seen many members of their team like Dragon, Minimize just walk forward, right? On the attacking side of things. They're adept at it. But at the end of the day, they're still playing two Sentinels that are geared towards defense, so it's going to be all up to Full House to make sure that that doesn't happen the same way here. Piggy Cheese instantly tagged down, but not going to be taken down just yet. Shot from Zorky, and they need to trade it out onto Piggy Cheese, but Piggy Cheese somehow finds Dragon, despite being on no HP. It's going to be Feta also answering back and creating another 2v4 scenario. And EKING, you know, akin to their first half already, the pistol looking dire for these individuals, and definitely a bit of a shadow from what was seen yesterday. And we're going to be into a lull state as both members are now separated. A cheeky lurk seemingly coming through from the side of Lou. But I'm not too sure that Lou's going to be able to do anything. Look at this crunch. Might as well call yourself a crab claw at this point. But the 1-2. No, this... almost found them all there despite the whiffs. But it's Feta tag down low. It's still playable, but it's looking really, really unlikely right now for the side of Lou. But we have seen some crazy shots. Going to be walking forward. There will be a firing squad, but Feta is low enough. They need to definitely source themselves a bit of an advantage. Lou is just, in more than just a bad spot at this moment. Jumping forward, needs to find a headshot. Doesn't find Feta, however. Will be a hat-trick for the Neon main. It will be 7-6, and EKING, for the first time in a little while, we see them fall onto the back foot.
Yeah, it's a bit of encouragement for the defenders, you know, having gotten both pistols now on this Sunset map. Played very, very well. The moment they had a 4-2 advantage, you actually saw all the defensive players regroup into 2-2s. And yes, it got a little messy with the push on A main, both backs being turned, but Minimize unfortunately could not get the drop on the both of them. So it goes the way of Full House. EKING's gonna hard save here. 5-man bum rush, but Vizsla, Sheriff in hand, Marshall in hand, gonna be able to just quickly deal with at least a singular player there.
Cage triggered.
Yeah, it's my favorite buy-up of the second round, especially when they're on eco, and it's going to be the Marshall now peeking out, looking for something more, almost a collide on the century. It's Aspas remade, it's Vizsla's ace. All 5 with the boomstick on the eco.
Oh, disgusting from the side of Vizsla. The Marshall, the one shot, the one drop, and then the pistol coming out for the cherry on top. This
One enemy remaining.
magnifique chef's kiss.
We've seen this before with Aspas on Split's B main, and this time we see it on Sunset with Vizsla. Vizsla's literally on a different level, going 18-8 on Sunset right now. This is crazy.
Alright, but now meat and potatoes, right? King's time to respond, try and figure it out. The one-way smoke has been kind of there a few times just to be able to instill some level of worry in the King side as they halt to a grind, trying to see if Full House do anything ridiculous, maybe push out a little bit. That's the thing about, you know, having double sentinels on the attack. You can really take things slow and hold and block off some of the flanks that we just talked about in the first half. And I'm betting that they're gonna be able to try and maybe set some of those up.
Yeah, and it's going to be absolutely massive. Already Minimize going to be answering one back straight towards Market, but a couple going to be put forth here from the side of Full House. A great answer onto this bonus round, and Full House gearing themselves up to have a great round here. And EKING, they're definitely again on their back foot, on their buy round up, and Kadiri needs to work out the miracle to be made. Drone coming through Paranoia as the TP comes in. Shrouded Step can be getting themselves into safety. Will be Sinaway. Looking at this A side lurk up coming through. Ooh, this might be good from the side of EKING here. Despite the man disadvantage, the rotation's fast and smart.
30 seconds left.
And all 4 members from the side of Full House are actually geared towards B right now, and the rotation's slowly coming back, as we would be expecting this. But Dragon in a great spot. Needs to see the foot. I think Zork actually caught him.
I think so.
Zork knows, but I don't think Dragon knows that someone's in spawn at the moment. It's instant. It's Dragon unable to catch it over. And the timing is of the essence now as the planet starts to go down. But this 2v4 is looking less and less likely as the seconds time on. piping straight in will be 3 disciplined individuals in towards CT. As you see the lane being watched through, of course, there's going to be a trip holding it. Salvo's going to be coming right through to clear the site most of all, and Akana needs to find an instant kill to start the round off. Not going to be happening as Sinway actually answers right back, finds it for one, but Akana is tagged up and stunned. That's all she wrote. That's going to be Zork finding it. And that's going to be the 9th round for Full House. Sunset looking like Full House's playground right now.
Yeah, Zach, you know, with that 2-hour Amazon delivery of that secret package, just to be able to clean up that final kill on to the Kana here. Hold down just the fort a little bit more, but nothing more than that. Diffuse comes through. Solid round from the side of Full House to be able to at least get the bonus under the belt. They're starting to peel away on. I'm eating my words, Merlin. I'm eating my words.
Yeah, seriously, that is going to be a crazy one. You know, at the end of the day, I also said that I'm not too confident in Full House's Sunset because we haven't seen it before, and we have seen the dominating performances come through from the side of EKING. And tonight, I feel like Full Houses have done their preparation, done their research on the way that EKING likes to play their rounds, and they've come in for a bit of a fight, going 6-6 against their defense, and now 3-0 up on their defense side. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, you know, double sentinel on the EKING side. How do you work it? You have to take it slow, right? You basically have to use as much of your sentinel abilities to maybe punish a push, but if there's no push, you have to be aggressive with it and work the map across. Because Full House have a lot of ways to get information, right? Not just a nice flash from Biggie Cheese to peek corners, but Vizsla with the cam, and Zach with the spider drone, just to be able to just, you know, the range on that spider drone is just ridiculous, might I add, Merlin.
Yeah, for sure. And let's not forget, this is going to be an eco round coming through from the side of EKING, and unless they actually pull out a miracle here, it will be double digits for the side of Full House, making it exponentially harder to find any kind of opening, less and less chances to break through. Wall goes up for the aftershock, but that's already been partially tagged up immediately by that aftershock itself. Sinaway Paranoia comes through, a massive spray down. It's going to be Vizsla and Sinaway instantly finding kills for themselves, and the spray down comes through again. Sinaway finding a second as Kadiri gets the wallbang headshot through the body, but it doesn't matter. Vizsla's going to be on the support state of things as Biggie Cheese finds the final. That will be the 10th round. Full House looking like they have a Full House in their hands right now. That is what we're hunting for.
I love it. I love it. You know, call EKING's bluff. They have the map experience, but Full House are cooking hard in the labs here. Double digits goes the way. Granted, yes, like you know, the EKING was on a bit of a save round. So, you know, out of that timeout, this will be the crucial round for them to really prove themselves. Do a couple away from that dimensional drift, which could be the make and break for the round, but they're gonna have to go hunting a little bit down mid. Try and figure out if they can break anything. I like the way they played that. They, you know, the sage wall coming up early in that previous round to maybe block off those rotations, but a different look from the King side, all stacked on that B.
Yeah, for sure. And let's not forget, 7 rounds in a row from the side of Full House. Momentum is definitely on their side at the moment. It's all confidence as Vizsla's just putting the cage up and peeking at the moment. Drone put forth. Dark Cover going to be shielding any kind of vision line as the second cyber cage comes through. 20 and 9 on this individual Cypher play. And he's on the site. He's ready and waiting. No one's seen him. They need a check. Oh, the Dark Cover is absolutely perfect. This is going to be perfect for Vizsla. Literally inserted behind enemy lines. Needs to walk out. Timing! It's all on Vizsla, but it's going to be Dragon answering right back with 2 more on the right. It's not a thing. Shorty comes through. It's going to be Zork finding one, but it's going to be instantly answered back with the Kana and Lu finding kills on themselves as well. That's stemming the bleeding. That's the bloodshot from the stone. It's in a way last man standing in a 1v4, but it's looking a little tough right now. The peak's starting to come through, but you can't give them 1v1s. EKING! You're tagging them low, but you're also tagged low yourselves. You can't be giving a kill away like that. And that's pretty much everything on the round. It was a 1v4. Sinaway gets 2 for their troubles. No TPs as the...
Wait.
I think it might be a little too late for that one. Oh, Sinaway does. But
Skin
it
of their
will
teeth.
be
Skin
7.
of their teeth. It will go the way of the Kings right at the final end. 7 to 10. They find success on that B with some sneaky smoke plays, some sharp shooting from Dragon, and a well-placed wall. You know, we've seen Minimize with that wall. That's honestly something that's... You cannot underestimate, right? There are holes on either side. They don't completely block it off, and that's on purpose, you know, to basically maybe bait the defense that it is a safe wall. I can walk around it. Lo and behold, haha, I'm around the corner with my crosshairs trained.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, with that being said, that Vizsla was in a great position, but unfortunately it did not pay its dividends over, and that probably cost Full House the round because Full House were playing completely over that, and that's going to be the Dimensional Drift putting forth, and Ikana getting sprayed out just a little bit as the Armageddon gets put forth as well. Kadiri can be answering back instantly, finding a kill towards that market side of things, a second position, but Vizsla still with a headshot coming through, walking through the cyber cage, going to be perfect here, but it's going to be a second kill as Lou finds it. It's going to be Ikana answering back as BGs takes their head with it as Feta finds the notion, and it will be a 1v3 for the side of Kadiri. We need magic in the making now. Will we be seeing Kadiri coming through with another cadence of David Copperfield's best cosplay artist? Or are we going to be walking forward with an 11th round? That will be the 11th coming through from the far side of Full House. It's the same scoreline, reverse teams, my favorite convenience store. And game 2 is looking like it is starting to roll over.
Full House, great adjustment, right? Kind of gamble that EKING might come back on to be maybe a slightly different look, you know, in that 3-2 split into mid, into market. They started strong with that Armageddon just to be able to flush things out. Didn't quite work their way, but was able to create enough chaos for the retake to be a bit smooth, you know, smooth like butter from that perspective. So a great response from the defenders, and Kings running out of momentum. Not going to be able to buy up either. That they shouldn't, right? They're gonna probably maybe try and strip away weapons. Ikana, a great shot. Trying to disrespect the smoke though. Biggie Cheese fires back.
But Kadiri also falls on the back end side of things towards mid on that lurk, which means that pincer point going to be completely taken over. Now mid control has to ensue. They need to find a little bit of value here as Vizsla gets out of trouble. Spider drone coming in. Not going to be finding too much there. Does get shot out, but again, EKING. If they lose this, that's going to be match point on towards Full House. Full House going to have 5 rounds to play with to make sure they guarantee the win. And that is very possibly our map 3 on the horizon here, which is everything I've ever asked for. And it seems like that's the trajectory that we're heading towards. The Neural Theft going to be put out every single position from the side of EKING. Now invested as the Rolling Thunder and the TP going to be coming right through Gate Crash. Going to be crashing the gate on towards B main. And we're looking at a little bit more of that special delivery coming through. Ikana in a great spot. Needs to get checked out. 1-2. Not going to be happening. It's going to be instant. As Minimize just Ferrari peaking. Equalized by a shorty. But it's not enough to deal with anything more than just a kill. It's 7-12. It's looking dire for the side of EKINGs.
It is. You know, we've been singing praises for the side of EKINGs, but Full House have really cooked, especially on their attack side, right? So especially on their defense side, really able to get the trades, get some really good mid-round calling. You know, with the Neural Theft out, Rolling Thunder just to be able to clear those corners. Now EKING spending that final time out. What can they pull? Now, to be fair, every time EKING pull out a timeout, it has been to their success. You know, round 16 ended, they pulled a timeout, they won round 17. This could be a bit of a resurgence, and Full House cannot treat this lightly. So they're gonna spend some time discussing as to how to keep their momentum running. Fed up with those electrical fingers. Not much else on the line either. Minimize holding on to the resurrection could be a turning point as well.
Yeah, and let's not forget, Lou is literally getting dominated in this game right now. 8-16 on the Yoru, and Vizsla is just not completely unstoppable. Biggie Cheese, another big performer, but 22-11, a straight up 2 KD coming through from the side of Vizsla is literally holding the fort and single-handedly creating the differential between Full House and EKING right now. If Vizsla was just going 1-for-1, I feel like the scoreline would be completely different.
You know, like sometimes I think, with the changes from B, maybe Vice will be the up-and-coming Sentinel player or the main here on B side. But you know, these rounds from VCT, OCE, Split 1 just show that Cypher remains such a dominant phase as we go into round 20 here. Feta making them a run for their money, scattering Kings into mid.
Yeah, a bit of a dangerous peak there from the side of Minimize. They have the Resurrection online, so it's important that they don't fall and someone else does on the team to give them an opportunity to utilize it. But in this case, it's the classic wall up, walkthrough. It's the stake your spawn. Why is there a spy cam sitting in spawn is the question. They must have seen this play coming. And look at this, minimize. Needs to find a headshot, not gonna be happening. Completely deleted by the side of Sinaway. And you can't get deleted when the stakes are this high, when this is the one round you have to win one at a time. And Akana taken down as well. They've separated themselves too many times all across the map, and this is looking like a dire state because every single person from the side of EKING's in a different position. Means Kadiri now left in an interesting place, instantly taken down as well. This is just falling apart on all fronts. It's a 2v5 and miracles have to happen or it's completely over. That's going to be the round done and dusted. Lou finding an entry kill. Creating a 2v4 scenario here. Still a tough one to deal with. Headshot needs to be found instantly. Finds one. Almost on the back end of that, not finding anything. But still Lou in a 1v3. Looking to craft themselves a bit of an entry point. All timing on towards Zork is going to be great for the side of Lou. But will it be great enough for the defuse to start to come through as the overdrive ensues? Finding a bit of an advantageous position. They're going to be creeping right in. Spam needs to come in, but Zork headshot already, and that's going to be the whole map done and dusted in a bit of an anticlimactic finish. 13-7 is going to be the scoreline as Full House find their victory on their map pick against all odds. EKING fall. It's going to be 1-1 here. We're going to a set map 3.
You know, I don't know even what I never doubted them. Merlin, I'll say it again, I've never doubted them. My prediction was 2-1 and we're going the distance. Full House rose up to the challenge against EKING's, cooked hard in the lab to secure themselves a dominating defensive half, right? Basically didn't give EKING's an inch of space. They fought hard on your attack in a 6-6 fashion that ended there. And then with EKING's double sentinel on the attack, could not find enough space to pierce through the defenses of Full House. And once again, you know, looking at the scoreboard, we sing praises of Vizsla. 22 kills to their name, absolutely dominating the servers here.
Yeah, for sure. And this is going to all come down to whether or not EKING can muster up the courage to take revenge in anger, or Full House hold the momentum to surge through map 3 and find their win on Ascent. It's going to be game 3. It's going to be absolutely massive. And I feel like there's nothing more I could have asked for the two biggest titans in VCT OCE to go to all 3 maps on the best of 3 in the uppers finals. That's what we're here for. And again, everyone at home that's tuning in, supporting the stream, supporting the cast, supporting the players and the game, thank you so much for spending another great evening of your night on towards the VCT OCE scene here and supporting the region. With that being said, that's going to be game 3 getting prepped up for us. We're going to be cutting to a 5-minute break. We'll catch you in 5. Don't go anywhere. Get some calories in your system, and we'll see you in map 3. And welcome back to the VCT OCE Split 1 playoffs here. It's gotten so heated in my home and in this best of 3, I even have to take off my jacket for this one. EKING and Full House 1-1, taking their own map picks on Icebox and Sunset respectively. We're going to Ascent, the map of choice to be testing the fundamentals of the two teams. You know, when it comes to silver scrapes, when it comes to the final pickings, this is the map I want to be picked on, to cast on, to see which team comes out victorious against the Titans. Multi, run me through it. What do you think is going to go down here?
Isn't it befitting, right? That it comes down to the OG map that Riot has pushed out, where these two are going to be fighting to keep themselves in the running towards the Grand Finals, and then the other falls into the lower brackets. This is it in this best of 3. Full House turned up in Sunset and just dominated their defensive half, and I think that's going to be the key here on Ascent as well. Ascent is a little bit more defensive sided, as you see on the VCT side. If you have the choice, you pick defense first and try and rack up as many rounds as possible, but we've seen Full House be able to dismantle that just a little bit, right? Sunset equaling things out in a 6v6, and they hope to do the same thing on Ascent.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely massive. Ascent is that tried and true map. A lot of actually different interpretations have started to come through. A couple of adaptations with the Deadlock Vise have come through. You know, just a little bit of a run back of history. The Cypher Deadlock was another option that some people considered. With the Tabro coming in, I think a lot of Band-Aid solutions just running Taeho Breach could be applied here as well. And of course, you know, a lot of comfort picks have come for Jet. But right now, the strongest duelist is undoubtedly that Yoru pick that's coming in for a lot of different maps. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like that come through here as well. And of course, when we talk about Yoru, sometimes we're going to be opting for an ISO to pair along with that kill contract, which is so damn strong. I've got a lot of ideas, and you know, we're not going to know until we see that graphic pop up who's going to be taking who. But at the end of the day, you know, what do you want to see, Multi? What kind of composition do you want to see? Do you want to see that mirror matchup or something different?
Oh, that's a tough one. You know, like I actually don't like mirror matchups because I feel like it, you know, with a different composition on each side, you get new flavors every single round, especially on the attack and defense. So yeah, looking at the past history, you know, EKING have played this once, Full House have played this 3 times, and so far there haven't been any sort of repeats at what they like to do. EKING opting maybe for that, you know, that Deadlock Cypher combination that you worked, and maybe as they started on the defense kind of makes sense. Full House, you know, we go for maybe the tried and true Yoru Sova combination, something that obviously you, Merlin, I know you absolutely adore, with the ultimate combination, the Wombo combo, the what you call the invulnerable Sova Dart coming out, followed by the Hunter's Fury. That's cinema for all to view.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just see a comment in chat right now, Rahman, just saying, better production than LPL, are we real? I have to put it out there. Thank you so much to our production team, Mr. TJ Bruce leading the whole crew and our observers, making sure that we get the cinematics and the play on lockdown so we can talk about it. This is something we've crafted, you know, in response to the Oceanic region. We want to bring a product that we can apply to a lot of different tournaments to make sure that we have something awesome to bring to the table. And I think I've called it right out. The Vise, Taeho coming in for Full House and running back the history with the Cypher Deadlock composition on EKING. I mean, it's a battle of the ages. We've got the Yoru, of course, the Yoru Sova Omen core coming out for both teams, of course. I think that's no surprise. You know, controller being Omen for these kind of two-sided maps is exactly what you're hunting for. Same thing with Sova, Prime Initiator, built for this map, and of course Yoru, strongest duelist alive at the moment. And the biggest difference is that double senti on EKING, which they also took to Sunset but in a different form, coming through against that Vise Taeho composition from the side of Full House, which they also took in a slightly different form on Sunset. But again, it's similar but just different enough. But we'll have to see whether or not which team can pilot their team comms better on this map.
Yeah, you know, Ascent is one where you get so many variations of how you want to play this map, and you know, the mid take is honestly quite fundamental, but if you can have a strong exec onto a site, you can basically bust through and maybe claim some spaces. I think the key here is not to overheat too much. I've seen time and time again where teams scale too fast and can't keep up with the moving waves of attack or moving waves of defense, and then the duelist will die for nothing, can't get traded back, and that's where good teams will slow it down just a little bit more, and you can do that even with small sites and small maps such as on Ascent.
Yeah, 100%. And I think on attack, of course, Full House going to have those tools with a double initiate composition and Feta sitting on that Yoru. Yoru's a bit of a make or break in the Oceanic scene. I see that a lot of different duelists try to pick it up, but it sits so different from your typical duelist in the way you play it. Some duelists can't quite adapt the same way, right? And we see a lot of kind of make or breaks, a lot of pivot points for these duelists that they try to take up Yoru, but they actually end up reverting back to picking up Jet on that comfort pick, and we'll have to see how that gets piloted by both Lu and Feta in this map. And at the end of the day, you know what I'm hunting for. It's always going to be looking at that Sova. I want to see how Zork and Akana are going to be handling themselves on this map. This is the map that I have the most experience on, the most fun on playing Sova, specifically in the higher echelon of ranked. So I'm going to be looking at these lineups just like that first A-side dart. It's going to be King Dragon looking to find something more in that massive play towards mid. A triple push out. It's just walking down mid, taking these dogfights immediately. As Sinaway gets a consolation prize, just finding one on Lu. But it's not every day you see the Sova Omen of your team buy up Sheriff's round one. As Villa gets tagged up in towards the smoke, they create themselves a 4v2 scenario. Full House have got a lot to deal with in a matter of seconds starting the game.
That's smart, right? Now they're playing the numbers game. Everyone has backed up into respective corners, just waiting for contact, and that will start things off. The grab net just to be able to hold things back, but everyone gets out safe in safety. I believe both players should be noted, and the rotations are slowly coming through. Oh, minimize. Danger.
Minimize is in a great spot, and I don't think they know where he is, but they see the feet. It's going to be an instant shot towards the head through that smoke. Dark cover, not going to be covering too much in that case, as Akana's going to be sitting in a great spot, but instantly taken down. Sinaway's found three. Oh, Dragon! The collateral king comes and strikes once more. What the heck is that?
That is precision beyond belief, right? Sheriff buff just to get these pins lined up in a perfect row. Shot from the window, shot from the heavens. Start off with a couple two down mid and ending with the last two at the top side of A to secure themselves a lead here in this best of three.
It's the classic where you dangle the food right in front of their face, and just when you thought they had a chance to bite down, it just gets snatched away. Hopes and dreams shattered on all fronts. And look at this. We've got EKING forcing up a judge coming in. A massive reveal. That's Akana. That's the kind of Sova data I want to be seeing all game long. And that is the spam right through. Feta also tagged up to about 70 HP as well. And the drones can now be invested. Recon ball tagged in, has to immediately hide. Well, that's another wallbang coming through from spawn. I mean, I get it, it's eco. But this is where everything sits very, very importantly. You don't want to be losing any guns on the anti-eco. You keep yourself strong for the bonus round. Give yourself the best chance in the long run economically. Recon getting spammed through. No way. That's minimized, finding absolute value right there. Caught with the pants at their ankles. This is going to be Zorka. We're finding ourselves in a 3v5. As soon as they tap it, the spam needs to come through now. One kill is going to be first. Minimize needs to find a second one. Let the reveal come through. It's instant for the side of Kadiri, finding the two more in market. It's 2-0. It's flawless from EKING.
Yeah, and EKING playing the long game, right? They actually didn't full buy a couple of these players, so they want to give Full House a run for their money in the bonus. Despite Full House going to be able to buy up, I wouldn't be surprised if EKING would walk into the next round with a loaded arsenal. Great plays, lucky shots also panned away of the defense, but EKING's with a strong start here.
Yeah, clairvoyant in their play right now. Full House, literally besides Sinaway, has not been able to find a single kill. No openings given. And immediately, I think they actually not just caught one individual, they catch two. And with that Spider Drone coming through and a flash blindside, that's going to be 4 confirmed from the side of EKING immediately. Full House need to get right on. This is the perfect timing. Paranoia can be invested as the reveal comes in. Somehow, Kadiri still finds one. I mean, against all odds. It's going to be a 4v4 scenario as the operator gets forced up from the side of Lou. Biggie Cheese in a great position right now, but they need to be hunting for this. And I think Lou has a bit of an idea, despite them aiming at logs at the moment. That's going to be smoke coming through. Dark cover. Trader onto B main. Arc Rose put forth flashes. Doesn't catch much here, but it's instantly going to be tapped in. Finding B main is going to be the first point of contact. Now they know that the operator is actually live from the side of Lou and gets taken down by Vizsla. Oh, Vizsla's just going to be the linchpin for the team, finding themselves in a 2v3 now is EKING. I mean, bonus round already valuable found, and they're going to be TPing away immediately here. I think they've recovered the operator. Running away is going to be Akana here. And Dragon sitting at CT looking to find an exit frag or two. Then jumping right out. But somehow doesn't even catch that head there. It will be Sinaway instant. But a kill through to Sinaway as well. Dying to the spike. It's expensive for Full House nonetheless.
It's a little bit expensive. Unfortunately, lost that third rifle out of with the spike kind of blast radius. But I want to shout out to Biggie, right? Like, knew the play of the game, knew that they had been noted, ran out so far and pulled so much time away from the attackers to be able to maybe get back on that B side and ultimately forced a save out of the Kings. And so great play from the set of Full House. If this is the high level of Valorant gameplay that we are going to expect round after round, we're going to be here all the way, all night, Merlin.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, Dragon going to be playing the Boaster position popularized by Fnatic in 2022 with the Paranoia TP out combo that can be put forth here. The drone needs to clear out Wine, but if you're starting it from there, a lot of the time it won't get past in case Arcro is actually going to be finding. That means that someone is there, finds the headshot immediately, needs to TP out now. Dragon! No! Dragon, what are you doing? Shrouded Step, second chance, second time lucky, as that's going to be the barrier mesh immediately coming through here. Oh, Dragon escaping from death right now. How is he alive?
That was impossible. Like, honestly, rolled all their luck with that second TP. Somehow no crosshairs on that first to be able to be punished. And now King comfortable with a person advantage, fall back. Sentinel utility still spread across this map and it's just waiting for Full House to make a mistake somewhere.
Oh, it's going to be an Arc Rose bait coming through from the Vise, of course, walking forward immediately, instantly taken down. But with no one following and a Sentinel walking out for free, they know it's going to be a B-side play. You see the rotations already coming through. Trips coming in, immediately catching a second person as well. That means CT is going to be compromised. Kadiri looking to find a kill immediately here. Not going to be finding it, but Akana's in a great position. Flash still finds a kill. Lou answering back with an operator shot as well. They see Zork, and Zork instantly finds the headshot instead. But it will be a second kill coming through. A bit of a play coming through, but Minimize is just too sharp about it. Zork almost had a third kill on their hands, but in a 1v5, it is more than just a miracle needed.
Honestly, Dragon had the kill of a Sentry and the escape of a Sentry, a little Houdini action right at that front end. Gave them the advantage and this assurance that, the map was under their control, especially with a couple of Sentinels, a well-placed cam to get all this information, and then, the Vice from Vizsla just disrespecting the smoke and throwing their life away. Unfortunately, just meant that Kings had a clean and easy retake from that perspective.
Yeah, 100%. You're looking at this Eco 4-sub. That's going to be on a cusp of a 4-1 unless something catastrophic happens, like Oni Potions loves to say. But, frankly speaking, whenever he says it, every time a catastrophic thing actually happens. So we're just going to have to play and wait in this case. But Full House, I think they're trying to gear up to a little bit of mid-control, but they've got an operator just pincering them right now from the side of Lou. And they're going to be opting for a bit of a lull state towards B. I believe a final push will come out, but you know how Full House love to play. They don't fully commit until they're pretty much out the front door.
Yeah, and this cam's going to spot at least a bit of information here. Vizsla will be spotted. And I'm not sure if that means that there's, well, okay, never mind. Flash coming out, they know it's B.
Oh, Kadiri just goes nuclear. Couple of headshots despite the flash. It doesn't matter as they get 2 for their price of 1. Biggie Cheese going to be flanking through. Looking to find a spray towards CT side of things. A shot found. Lou's just too sharp now. It's the 3rd map. They've woken up. They've come online. They've taken Sunset personal. EKING are just so strong. Gravity net and the flash. Too good. Minimize, find a free kill for themselves. The last person getting stuck in towards the back of Boathouse and overwhelmed and overcooked. Full houses. EKING retain the throne. Take themselves up to 4.
Oh, full house. Map 2 under the belt. Starting to struggle a little bit in this marathon of a best of 3. Struggling to pierce this defensive setup from the King side. I mean, there's so much assurances with the Sonic chips in all these corners and Kadiri being a solid anchor for this B side. You know, great trades. Liu Operator online by round number 3. Hasn't lost it out of their hands the whole way around, so it is going to be a solid performance. Oh wait, minimize now on the Odin.
Yeah, it's prime Trent cosplay from the side of Minimize with the Annihilation ready and waiting here, but it's going to be the Dimensional Drift now invested with the salvos coming out from the side of Feta. They want to clear this site, but it's completely free for the taking right now. But I don't think they've actually caught Kadiri that's come onto the site sitting in the cyber cage. 1 instant, and the Annihilation gets invested and finds someone. They can't even shoot it down. It's a 5v3 immediate, and it doesn't matter. Creator make it worse for all, as it will be a 4v1. Sork running out for free and realizing his whole team is just dead, stuck in B main with the bomb in market. I mean, it couldn't get any worse than that. And I actually believe the spike actually got pulled into market because of the Annihilation, which is probably as lucky as you can possibly get. Recon Dart coming through, Paranoia, grab net, but somehow Sork still finds one while full blind. It's Kadiri with a hat trick, and deservedly so. What a play coming from EKING.
Really starting to snowball, right? Not just rounds, but the finances and full house struggle to figure out a way into these guys. I mean, Kadiri being an absolute nuisance, the cage coming out to be able to give them access into Switch and just demolish. You know, you'd think with everything blocked off, it'd be safe, but no. Kadiri says, this is my side, I'm gonna hold on to it, just like I did round after round. Timeout now called for the poker players. Full house have a lot of ultimates to be able to play around, you know, the Hunter's Fury, plus a Steel Garden that they could really maybe crack open the site. But that's the problem. You know, EKINGs have let them come on the site and plant before, but their retake philosophies and protocols are so strong.
Yeah, I mean, look at also what we previously talked about as well. The adaptation transitioning from something like a Jet over towards a Yoru. It's a completely different playstyle. And I think it's evident, right? Feta is not adapting the same way. They don't have the same level of comfort as they did on Icebox and of course on Sunset as well. And they're just definitely struggling a little bit on Ascent, where they don't have the same set of game plans that are coming through. And EKING are absolutely taking advantage of that and dominating through.
Yeah, 100%, right? And so, full house, you know, having sat down for about, you know, a minute or so to calm their nerves, speak some words of wisdom into each other's kind of brains, and hopefully are able to pull something out a bit stronger. They are on a save round, and with an Odin and an Operator on the side, you know, the most they can maybe hope for is snatching away some rifles so the finances don't snowball.
Yeah, 100%. Barrier Mesh can be deployed towards that B-Link side of things, and immediately Shock Dart can be invested here. They're on an Eco 2 Sheriff spy up. It's not 5, but hey, we might just be scoring a few more kills again, as well as the Steel Garden comes out. It will be pistols against pistols now. That means this thing is actually going to be the strongest weapons about here. As you look at a couple of trades come through, not going to be happening just yet, but will be soon, as Vizsla's going to be tucked in here, but not going to get checked out. On the right-hand side, they need to be careful on the walkout from this. The Dimensional Drift hasn't seen it either, but the shot's going to be fired now, instantly giving away all the positions, so it's going to be Dragon fighting kill as a 5v4 ensues, but a couple of members tagged down low. Biggie Cheese and Feta need to be careful with themselves, as Dragon finds another kill on themselves, as Feta and Vizsla instantly die. Biggie Cheese, all members fall. It's EKING all through and through. 6-1 is the scoreline. I mean, we're looking at Icebox again.
Yeah, just dismantlement, effective, and critical from the side of EKING, and in the chaos of that, Big Ichi's actually also utilized their Armageddon to clear CT spawn, but a bit of a waste because was not capitalized upon, and by that point in time, everybody from the side of EKING had already spawned onto the B side and just caught everybody off guard. That Odin making work of these players on B.
Yeah, 100%. EKING are playing a completely different game right now. They're playing chess and Full House are playing checkers. It's a complete domination on all strats, and we're looking at a 6-1 scoreline, and this is going to make or break Full House right now, just like they did on Icebox. Despite a massive comeback, it still wasn't enough, and it was when it all started at 7-1, right? And you're looking at this buy-up now. If they lose again, it's probably going to be a bit of a dire situation looking at the scoreline, because you're giving EKING a lot of room to play with, and they would have to make mistake after mistake after mistake just to synchronize a bit of a loss to come through. But I think finally they're going to be hitting the first letter of the alphabet. It's going to be an A-site push. Lou in a great position towards Wine right now, but I don't think this TP will be that helpful. I'm just very going to put forth. They need to immediately take down Vizsla. Is going to be happening as Lou instantly finds one on towards A main as well. Still holding the angle. It's going to be Feta taken down here as a salvo. It's going to be too much to deal with, and all of a sudden it's going to be a 3v3 scenario. Still coming through for EKING. Even odds, they've had a lot of valuable kills already, but I think this is the closest round we've seen from the side of Full House. We'll have to see if this flank from Akana is going to be finding value. As the door gets broken in, Akana in a great spot, needs to walk through the smoke right now, finds them tucked in with their pants in their ankles. Another shot coming through Akana, just finding absolutely everything, finding 3 kills for themselves, looking to find a 4th as well. Just comes out, hold it tight, it's Akana with the 4th. It became down to a 1v1. But they take the 1 for none here. It's 7-1. It's another soccer scoreline of previous years. It's domination from EKING.
That's the thing about EKING, right? The beautiful push and pull. They're reading this map and the positioning of Full House so well. You know, so much pressure and has been made on A. They instantly respond with a grab net and a double push out through mid, catching that late look Vice out of position in that grab net. And so this is, you know, we saw that on Icebox, we saw that on Sunset, and if you don't respond in kind, so much map control is lost. It caught out with a beautiful lurk from the back because of that map control. EKINGs just feel so comfortable right now.
Yeah, for sure. And the TP forward, it's going to be a classic A-side take. No competition here coming up from the side of EKING, as they were looking for that mid control, and they've situated themselves greatly here. But the push out, I think, is going to be a hard and fast one here coming through towards A, but that's going to be opted out of instantly, despite it probably being the right play. But the barrier mesh is going to be too much to deal with, apparently, in that case. And with that being said, all members going to be coming back from their insertion points. We're going to find a little bit of mid-cat presence, but Akana, as soon as this comes through, oh, they're not going to be finding any kind of information. Does get the tag on towards that mid player. Vizsla is the spam. Going to be finding absolutely everything. Oh, this starts crucial. But I think they're actually past the point already, which means they need to be a little bit more careful. Minimize. Oh, this is going to be absolutely massive. That is going to be Odin spamming of all fronts down to 1 HP. It's just minimized fighting everything, but Zork could be letting that shotgun down. I lost my words based on how criminal that site was. Oh my days. Dragon going to be fighting one. Incineroar also going to be actioning back a headshot towards Dragon. And these chaos rounds are starting to get crazy. Feta going to be finding a crucial one on towards Akana, creating that man advantage for the team. No trades available. And you're looking at 2 members of the defenders coming through towards Heaven side of things. Dropping down. Need to find a shot immediately here. Feta, the second one under Heaven. Has been called out with the TP forwards here. The 2-man push is going to be absolutely massive. The jump, the halfway, finds the headshots. They don't realize it's on the left-hand side. Incineroar is so close to winning this round. Oh, but Kadiri! Again and again! The Clutch Meister strikes once more. 8-1. EKING can't lose.
Oh my dear. My heart breaks for Full House. Feta is just starting to turn up, right? Getting a nice few sneaky kills left and right and able to get out of the site as well. But with the move out, the swing out, Incineroar tucked away in the corner. Maybe thought they could buy time, and unfortunately allowing Kadiri the clutch master to get away with these 1v1s. It is, you cannot let EKING get away with these.
Who's next?
You know what? Hey, buy up will win. It's going to be 4 Stingers and a Bulldog coming through right onto the side of E. And then it's a massive shot. Somehow can you also trades it back out? No value found, no TP getaway. And your Duelist is down. All 4 members spotted. What? Just Kadiri on absolute fire right now. What is happening?
One enemy remaining.
Shoot your shots because EKING can't lose. The crown's on their head befitted as Full House crumble.
Weapon here.
Bow down to royalty, says King. They're not looking to stop at any point in time. You know, the Spectre did a bit of work with Feta opening the side, but the Trace is too strong. You know,
One
double
enemy
Sentinel
remaining.
on that B side. Unfortunately, you just pick the wrong side, and it was all over in a matter of seconds.
Oh, I'm losing my marbles out here. Seriously, these rounds are so
Yeah.
chaotic, unplanned, and you're just looking at the rugby league special once again. The 5v5c, who wins, who's got the bigger quadriceps, is gonna be this game. And right now, Lou Feta just
Spike
peeking out
down
into the
mid.
open. It doesn't even matter. Jumping across, grab net in hand, minimize, tag down. But again, these plays are just not coordinated. It seems scrappy. It's looking messy. And right now, I feel like EKING are just thriving under the chaos right now. And Kadiri gonna be pushing forward. Just a walkout on towards the flank. Will be Big Cheese instantly with a headshot. Dragon gonna be falling to the wayside here. And a bit of a glimpse of hope coming through for Full House. They need to get their second round on the board. And hopefully they get their third as well. The Hunter Streak gonna be invested now. King Kadiri finds another just jumping upstairs and finds Vizsla in top mid. I mean,
Planted.
fair enough, right? That's just how it is. A massive spam coming through would have been perfect had that happened. I think they wanted to re-spam that because they know they can. So a bit of a lineup coming through. Crucially, oh my days, Feta. Jumping right out, Kadiri again with a second kill. Just finding absolutely everything at the moment, creating a 2v2 scenario. But HP advantage onto the side of Full House. Postland advantage onto the side of Full House. But Minimize just catches them all. Kadiri with the third again. Oh, EKING. Somehow they weasel their way always back through the round and find themselves double digit 10x the rounds of Full House.
Last round.
We
in the
have-
half.
We have seen the shift even in the official tier 1 VCT scenes, right? You pick defense on the ascent, you rack up double digits or more, and you know, you're in the clear. And that's exactly the strat that EKING have brought in. In the chaos of all these scrappy rounds, they managed to screw their head-ons just a little tighter, click hits just a little quicker, and pull themselves here in a 10-1 at round number 12.
I don't know how I'm meant to cast this game. Seriously, I might need to see a doctor after this game. This match is just pinching my blood pressure to absolute peaks right now, and can't even find the words as the blood's surging everywhere. And you're looking all 4 members, 5 actually towards mid, but and that's gonna be Lou. Finally down for the count. Aggression,
Greedy.
unresolved operator handed over. And you see EKING finally, on the final round of the first half, might be challenged, hey? You know, might actually be pushed for their run of money. And Kadiri, though, been on an absolute push. But this angle actually favors Vizsla just... But the Vizsla jump peek! Oh, you can't be doing this, Akana!
Down B.
Not again and again! EKING, every single member just find their ways every single time. Sinaway walking into the smoke, walks into a wall actually for a good couple of seconds, and Kadiri is in a great position right now, is ready for it, turns away in the last second, timing of the century from the side of Sinaway, creating this 2v2. Dark cover, spam in, it's Sinaway, the jump in with the shorty, oh, Minimize just too good with it. Find themselves in a 2v1 scenario, and Biggie Cheese literally has to go more than just big and more than just cheese right now. They need to go gargantuan cheddar if you want to see any kind of victory. It's Dragon with the headshot in the fire and the flames once more. That's 11 onto the side of EKING. It's absolute domination on all fronts. 11xing Full House.
This cannot feel good for Full House walking into their defensive rounds. Yes, we said Ascent has been defense-sided, which EKING obviously took strong advantage of. But 11 to a 10 round, a double-digit deficit at the half It's full house to be able to climb their way back. You're playing against the house and you're losing poker left and right now.
Yeah, at this point, it's looking very much as if you went to a casino and EKING were sitting at the house. In this case, Full House are losing dominating fashion, and they need to pull it back, right? And silver lining, the most thinnest of all silver linings, right, is that EKING are playing double Sentinel. Their attack is going to be weaker. They don't have flashes the same way on the attack as they would have stalling utility for the defense, but at the end of the day, there's so many rounds to play with. You pretty much have to play absolutely perfect, mirror the performance to go 12-0 to win this half and then win the game for the side of Full House. And those odds are just so tough.
Yeah, might I add, Deadlock's one of the most duelist, the most duelist Sentinel that there is to Sentinel. So, like, you know, playing
let's
with
not forget about Chamber,
those
you know?
grab nets. Oh, okay, yeah, fine. Chamber's a little different though, but yeah, no, that's fair. And the sheer wall now already being baited out. King are working this methodically. They understand the win con is to be able to dismantle the Soul Sentinel, which is Vice.
Yeah, and honestly, Vizsla, you know, performing so well on Sunset, we're seeing kind of a reply coming out from Kadiri, right? Like 18-5 is just ridiculous. And they're just going to be swarming the map instantly. And they haven't been able to come up with anything so far. So all could be finding a crucial kill, but the right clicks is not going to be landing here. Vizsla, finding it! Oh, massive from Full House. In a matter of a couple of seconds, they get pincered like two crab claws in efficient middle. It's going to be 11-2. But again, 9 rounds to go before you find yourselves on an even footing.
I mean, 9 rounds starts with 1, and that's what we got. A flawless, might I add. So that's good money all around for the Full House. Tip of the buy up. E-Kings naturally, you know, they're sitting comfortably. 1 Sheriff, pistols, to say the least, for the rest. And, you know, coming back to the last round, I like what Full House did. You know, a lot of mid space was taken with the sheer wall being dropped. They pushed through mid themselves in a 3-person push. So hopefully we see a bit more of that aggression being paid off, but you don't want to overheat either.
Full set of attack coming through. It's just an absolute spray down of the sentry right now, and Lu will be finding a consolation prize. All 4 members going to be falling to the wayside, make that 5 as Kadiri falls in mid as well. 11-3, quick and smart, and no drawn out pain for the side of EKING as Full House pick up their 3rd. This is the buy round. This is the bonus for the side of Full House. We'll have to see if this gets converted.
Yeah, you know, Full House did what they have to do on Ascent. You know, it's not like it's not like can do the G2 strat and jump off and deny orbs. So Full House will gain some traction here, but nothing online just yet. It's gonna be Full House with a bit of a stacked buy, to be honest, against E-Kings with Vandals across the board, and now a more defaulty approach come the Kings with Deadlock just applying a little bit of pressure.
Oh, timing in that spray could have been crazy for the side of Dragon. Shot coming in through mid. Veta not actually expecting, gets tagged down just a little bit here, and the same thing goes for the side of Biggie Cheese. Dragon also tagged down just a little bit, but a crucial headshot on timing. They heard the step away. They heard the reload come through from the side of the Omen there, Sinaway, and that's what gave them the opening. And I was about to raise this before the round started. The solution to winning on double Sentinel on attack is all about playing for picks. You need to find an advantage, man advantage for yourselves. They catch the shoulder of that, knowing that someone is top mid. But if you find that pick, you play that man advantage, you string down, you know, the 5v4, or you play the 4v4 with 1 lurk, you give yourself as best of a chance despite not having the same kind of initiating power. Like that, missing a recon bolt is just diabolical at this elo, but you know, we'll take it is what it is, as Feta finds 1. Zork also going to be landing 1 for themselves as minimizing Dragon, going to be equalizing the odds, but still finding that man advantage for themselves as Kadiri's in a great position. Running across, here's the footsteps, but Vizsla is so aware of this position right now, but it doesn't even matter as Kadiri just can't seem to miss right now as the spy cam instantly finds where Zork is. That's going to be a 3v1 solidified. Timing of the essence. What a free fire from Kadiri. Jeez. And that's going to be Zork going down for the count. Match point for EKING.
There wasn't much doubt, to be honest. I mean, Full House had a couple of Buckies, not Buckies, basically 5 rifles across the board, but EKING just dismantling it, like you said, slow and steady. And that's their playstyle with double sentinel. You can't rush into things. You gotta kind of get those lurks, get those timings, and their inherent timing is just so powerful. Kaziri, 20 kills to their name, and is just stacking it nonstop.
Yeah, we're looking at a massive carpet coming through from the side of EKING already established, and they're just one round win away from the match win, of course. Like, it's important to note, however, whoever loses here is going to be falling to lowers. There is a second chance. We may see them back into the grand finals meeting each other, but that's going to be all down to Full House if they lose it to make it all the way back through lowers. And if they pull off the miracle to beat EKING here, oh, that's going to be a definite statement, right? A huge piece, like a Fnatic level comeback coming through for him. Again, it's looking increasingly unlikely, especially with this buy up right now. They're just going to be walking forward, triggering the shear. There's a Razorvine still behind. Still have a Judge and a Stinger, right? So you're definitely weaker economically speaking. We want to see EKING take it slow, play for picks like we were chatting about previously. Lull state ensuing again.
Yeah, Liu setting out that clone to be able to trip that shear. I mean, this is the slow and methodical dismantlement of some of the utility that is being placed, but the explosions will start out, sit away, will pop up the paranoia, catch all 3 players, I believe, but gets caught themselves.
Yeah, it's going to be the Gravity Net pushing through, Blindside coming in, flashing through, smoke going down, and they need to catch these positions immediately. Asinway gets a massive spray down. It's massive for the side of Full House. EKING desperately coming back around to look to even the odds just a little bit and finds themselves in a one-man disadvantage here, but it's going to be all up to that shock dart of destiny. It's Sork finding Kadiri here, and that's going to be all she wrote. Minimize falls to the wayside. That's 12-4, despite the gun disadvantages from the side of Full House.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, King might have done an unenforced error right there. They kind of put a lot of their eggs into a single proverbial basket, which was tree, and tried to move into it without getting enough kind of A main presence. I mean, the dragon was there, but it was quickly dealt with by the Yoru, so it could not get any further kind of spacing onto that A. And one by one, they fell.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, Full House need to just calm down, keep themselves clear. But Kadiri, again, it's just the Kadiri round. Getting pushed by the Arcros and still finding the headshot for a 1-for-1 trade on an eco is just ridiculous. Drone instantly coming through. Vizsla not going to be ticked on by that tag, but does understand from the side of EKING that, hey, an extra person is in B. Good check coming through, and they want to prod for information now. Minimize, instantly taken down. Wandering up mid, you should not be able to do that. That's going to be Zork finding second themselves. Crucial ulti orbs coming alive for the side of the Hunter, and that will be one away from the Hunter's Fury.
Last player standing.
And last player standing is going to be Dragon, instantly taken down as well. I mean, another eco quick, smart, and fast coming through from the side of Full House. We'd love to see it. But still, the push of Sisyphus needs to ensue.
Yeah, no, but we have to push our attention to the next round. Like you call it, a lot of ultimates are either online or just about. It's going to be a bit of a clash here. The make and break moment of Full House to go to keep their name in the running. Let's have a quick look at the ultimates as well. Yep, Minimize already with that annihilation. Zach on the defense, one away from that Hunter's Fury, but we've got Armageddon plus the dimensional drift that Feta is holding on to with the operator, no less.
I mean, yeah, you're going to have to utilize that short in your hand. There's no other choice there. And Feta has to be forced out of the Great Crasher, or else there's going to be a dart coming instant with the spam. That's not going to be happening just yet. Cheeky little mid-control session coming through from the side of EKING. They want to be just a tad more aggressive, as you can see them pushing the initiative a little bit faster this round. This operator is definitely going to be the linchpin. If this operator goes down, it's going to be diabolical, but it will be Kadiri finding themselves 6 feet under with that boomstick straight to the heart again, and it will be a 4v5. And like I mentioned before, picking is so important. The Annihilation picks it all off. Minimize, you can't be doing this. But thank the Lords for Sinaway, a third member coming through, saving the life. Whoever was caught in the Annihilation, but Dragon finds a shot instantly. Vizsla down for the count, creating a 3v3 scenario. There's still Dimensional Drift and Armageddon online. They're probably going to utilize the Armageddon based on the bomb plant, but not going to happen. Not coming through as the Dimensional Drift gets committed first, which is an interesting play. you'd want to commit both of them at the same time so you can jump in amongst the chaos to find a kill or two. But right now, Salvo's going to be put forth. They need to challenge it, but the gate crash was just too good as Lu already finds a kill on Sinaway. I mean, the flank is just so strong, and the Armageddon now getting invested doesn't mean anything because Lu just stand there. They play the 2v2 onto the site, but there's still going to be another linchpin coming through as the Dark Cover's going to be standing right there ready and waiting for this defuse to come in. It's all up to him, but a massive play from Dragon.
Attackers
Just
win.
like that, it's 13-5. EKING find the match victory.
The Kings themselves rise up to the occasion. You know, we've gone the distance, and in this marathon, it is royalty that find themselves once again putting the crown of victory on their heads. Full House gave them a run for their money, gambling with their lives and their strats, but could not find success on this map number 3. Ascent just so powerful in the defensive half from EKING. Double digits, 10, or 11 to 1. I apologize. At the half, and just EKING smooth sailing towards the end, was able to clutch up and get their well-deserved win. The scoreboard says it all as well. You know, and I also want to speak big things about Liu holding on to the operator, being that deterrent as well. And this small map meant so much. Cannot underestimate that either.
Yeah, a huge, you know, map coming through, and I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, we saw that EKING are really strong on the way that they play together, even in these, you know, uncertain scenarios like bringing yourself over to Ascent. And Full House came on strong, right? I feel like they had a good read on both Icebox and Sunset, in which EKING have both played, and they were able to clinch the win on Sunset convincingly with their composition.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Ascent, you know, we haven't seen EKING take Ascent in a long time, and I feel like that's where they faltered. That's where Full House were unable to keep up, and you see EKING come through. I think we can see on camera, I'm a little flustered, like my hair's everywhere, my face is red. My blood pressure is skyrocketing because that game is just a highlight reel for literally EKING coming through. And you know, my heart goes out to Full House, and they'll be dropping into lowers and fighting their way back in the lower bracket run, and we'd like to see them in the grand final once more. But that's going to be our match for today. That's going to be our cast for today and our stream for today. Multi, any last words as we wrap up the penultimate day of casting for us?
Yeah, penultimate indeed. Once again, super grateful for this opportunity. You know, a huge shout out to all the viewers who have stuck around the last 3 days. And, you know, like Merlin said, we will have one more tomorrow where we go down, I believe, to the lower bracket semifinals and cast for that. So be sure to stop by once again Merlin's Twitch tomorrow about the same time to be able to catch more Valorant action, because you want to be there to see this the whole way through.
100%, and I'm super excited to see how Full House are going to bounce back, because if I'm not mistaken, that's actually going to be the game that we are going to be casting. It's Full House versus whoever ran up the lower bracket today. So I'm super excited to see the bounce back, how they're going to be combating that all the way through to the lowest finals if that happens, and then up until the grand finals if that's going to be the miracle run right back for a vengeance. And with that being said, that will be all of us for tonight. A huge shout out to everyone in chat that's been supporting, watching, and helping us along the way. There's one more day of casting coming from us on the community caster side, and that will be tomorrow for the lower bracket semifinals, as you already mentioned, Multi. With that being said, everyone at home, stay loyal, stay royal, stay sexy, stay hungry, stay hydrated. Thank you everyone for supporting once more. We'll catch you in 24 hours. Take care of yourselves, and good night.